these seas. Oh, you meant the world to me.
Try your luck and take a chance. Live for the risks in this moment. Take my hand and break my heart. I'll never walk this road again. Stumbling steps grow to a dance where things change forever. There's no regrets, only the past. Will I change? Never. So swing me around, take me down. You won't break me, I'm too strong. Keep saying it wrong, I'll play along, but I will never be a victim. So swing me around, take me down. You won't break me, I'm too strong. Keep saying it wrong, I'll play along, but I will never be a victim. Never be a We barely know, you hurt, I grow, I rock, you roll, we steal the show. I lock, you load, we lose.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Esports College and Career Pathways Overwatch Collegiate Community Combine. I'm Paul, joined alongside Kanashi for day number 2 here, and we're excited to have you with us.
Yeah, we are just about to get into the semis and grand finals of this whole tournament. We are just about ready to go. Just to let you guys know, today's matches are going to be best of 3, so we're going to be having a little bit of a longer format today. But we do want to start off the program with a couple of interviews.
Yeah, really excited to get into those. We'll be having 2 students joining us from Michigan Tech University in just a second here. And then our first match will be starting roughly 7:30 or so. So you're not going to want to miss these interviews nor at the start of that action. And like Kanashi said, we'll be diving into semi number 2 before ultimately our grand finals here today. We also want to take a second to thank our sponsors, ESTV and the NFL alumni. So thank you to both of them for their sponsorships, and thank you to Esports CCP for putting on this event. And with that, we're going to get ready for our interview here. Like I said, we'll be talking to 2 students from Michigan Technological University, Karna Mora and Mr. Got Game. So we'll be welcoming them into the booth. And now, hello, everybody.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
Of course.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I'll ask the first question here to Karnamura, and then I'll let Kanashi ask the next one to you, Mr. Got Game. So we try to keep everything mostly sorted here. But Karnamura, tell us a little bit, about Michigan Tech University's program and sort of your involvement with it.
So we're definitely like a really new program. So this fall is going to be our first like debut season. So everything's really new and a lot of stuff's happening all at once. But as far as like our program and our team goes, like we're definitely a very like passionate bunch, and I'm really excited about what we're going to bring to the table.
All right, that's really nice to hear. Oh, jeez, the camera just dipped on me for a second. Yeah, but just for you, Mr. Got Game, what role do you play on the team, and also how's the chemistry like on your brand new team?
All right, so I play off tank, and chemistry wise, a lot of the people that or most of the team for this upcoming fall was on the team last spring, in our club format before varsity. So we've already had a bunch of time to scrim, and I can say pretty confidently that we're basically a family and not just a team. We hang out all the time after scrims. Like it's not just scrims and matches to us. It is very much like a bond outside of the game where we hang out on the weekends anytime we're available, and we could play Overwatch or other games as well.
That's really great to hear. And I guess that sort of leads already into my next question. So maybe you partially answered it. This will be for both of you, starting with Carnamora. Sort of, what's your favorite part of getting to be on an esports program collegiately and getting to be part of this whole process?
So a lot of us like in the varsity program like to make jokes. We're just like we're gonna get a jersey and we're gonna get like throw off joggers with our names, like something with our gamer tag on it. That like it sounds awesome, but like Josh said, we love each other a lot, and I'm really excited to like. It's nice to be a part of a group of people that are committed towards like progressing, right? Because we all want to be like top of the game, you know. So
I feel that is definitely like that competitive drive, pulling you guys to just become better as players and as people in general. Um, last question. Is there any promotions or shout outs that you want to give either to your team or to anybody who you really want to shout out before we let you go?
Sure. So our varsity channel for the program will be M2 Esports on Twitch. We have Rocket League, League of Legends, and CS:GO on, as well as Overwatch going into the fall. As well as for players on our team that stream, uh, joking on Twitch streams every day. Definitely highly recommend. Great content there. And I also stream Mr. Got Game on Twitch. Karnamura, you stream every once in a while.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the big ones in terms of Overwatch, at least.
That's awesome. So one, we're so glad that you were able to join us, and really good luck with your season coming up, and we hope you enjoy what we get to watch tonight.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep,
Can't
thank you
wait.
so much. So joining us there, like we said, we're two students from Michigan Tech University, Carnamora and Mr. Got Game. So, and man, Kanashi, I remember too, like starting out when I was even helping with the program at Lackawanna College, I was like, man, I can't wait to get my jersey. It's got the bird on the front and like the flames. Like, that's just so fun to get into.
Yeah, and I really do. I've been pushing it for the Academy of Art too. Our B team doesn't get jerseys, but the A team does. But there's a certain thing about like wearing a uniform together that like really brings the team together. Besides, all just looking the same. It's like like a little bit of sense of pride that you could like wear around and be like, yeah, I played on this team. I have this as a background for myself. Um, Another thing that I really did like from the Michigan State players was that they were saying, they do a lot more outside of just, scrimming and just playing games on their own. They're willing to go out. And I know that the role that I actually play on my team as like a semi coach is that team bonding. Like my whole goal is to get everybody together and just like get them comfortable with each other. So on occasion, it will be like, you know what, we'll play Mafia today. We'll play card games. We're going to be doing Cards Against Humanity. We'll go to an arcade. We'll do karaoke. That's kind of like I get to be the fun coach, but like I'm just really happy that we get to like bring players together, and it's a lot more involved than most people think.
Yeah, I think like you said, it matters that you can trust the person you're with. And it's hard to trust them when you don't get to know them, you don't get to talk to them when you're just like you can even think of like coworkers you've had at a traditional job. It's like if you just walk in, work next to them, and leave, you don't really know them. Like you don't
Mhm.
know how to deal with them or help them through things or just get to talk about life with them. So I think it's really great that they're able to do as much as they can with the players. So really exciting stuff to hear, and absolutely for them, looking forward to what they've got coming up as far as their season goes. Coming up, though, we're already getting ready for our next interview here. So we're going to be joined by Campbellsville University's coach, CJ Morowitz, if I have it correct. Yes, I do. So we'll be excited to talk to him. And here he is now. Hey, Coach Morowitz.
Hey, how's it
Morowitz. Great. How are you?
Doing well, doing well.
And
Yeah,
so so can you tell us a little bit, about your program and what you've got going on at your school?
yeah. So at Campbellsville University, we're actually heading into our second year for our esports program, and we have our own facility. We completely renovated a new space, so it's looking pretty exciting. We're adding some new features to it for this coming up year, where we're excited for, and Yeah, we have like Alienware computers and monitors that we play League on, and Rocket League, and Overwatch, and we're also we have Smash as well.
Cool. Lots of new programs coming up. In terms of, we have a younger audience here on Esports CCP and watching today. What specific things do you look forward to in a player or somebody who you're trying to recruit?
So one of the most it's funny, I get that question asked a lot, and one of the things I always go back to is communication. So especially with when you play Overwatch, you need to have that open communication. To communicate with your team of all right, what are your cooldowns? Do you need heals and everything like that? And so that's the top priority we're looking for, and also being coachable. Can you, with some of our higher players up on the team, can you take criticism, and can you take criticism, from the coach, from me? And so that's what we ultimately look at.
And so when you bring these students in for you as a coach, and obviously we all know how in collegiate you to work outside your job title too in a lot of different ways. So for you, what's the most exciting part of getting to work with these students and be parts of these teams and productions and things?
A lot of people would say probably like, oh, when we get into games and matches and stuff, and that's obviously a huge part of it. But it's the day-to-day activities with everybody, and getting to know each individual and who they are, and you start to create this own culture within the esports team, and so that's kind of cool, and I really look forward to that, and bringing in new kids from this coming, or bringing in new kids to this year. It's always cool because it always changes.
Cool. And just a couple of questions. You said that your esports program was just getting up and running. But when it comes down to like the future, what is the future of your esports club and goal and your program?
Yeah, so right now, our future, we are a varsity sport. So we started off right off the bat saying, hey, we want to be, not starting at that club level, but be, what, like, football and basketball is. And so that was really cool to have that support from the school as we started to move forward. And our future that we're looking to expand, not only to the town, but bring people in, and have uh, people and students watch live games and watch our players compete, but also in the surrounding areas as well. And we're looking to expand, and we're just happy to do that.
That's awesome to hear. We'll get you out of here on this. It sounds like the future is certainly bright. Any shout outs or where we can find you and your streams coming up?
Yeah, so you can find us at esports_cu. And right now, we're not in season yet. School hasn't started, but yeah, that's where we'll be streaming most of our content. And yeah, there'll be other links to all of our other social medias as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Yes, yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Again, that was Coach CJ Morris from Campbellsville University joining us. And it's cool that we get to talk to people about, because a lot of times, and I think this goes for any traditional sport or e-sport, people are like, oh, it's got to be awesome getting to do, you get to play a game for a little bit. But there's so much more that goes into it. And those other parts are also enjoyable if we can find pleasure in getting to do all the other little things too.
Yeah, most people just think, oh yeah, everybody's just getting together and playing games, but there's actually a lot more that goes into it. Teamwork, coordination, communication, being able to just like be together. It's just really important.
Yeah, and the other thing too for me was like as I was talking to some of the kids I was coaching, it was like, and some of the players, it was like, you might not and probably aren't going to go pro. It's like anything else. It's hard to be in that upper echelon. So when you think of esports, how do you want to make a living out of it if you want to? And obviously we're casting. We have an awesome producer, Leche, in the background here working tournament admins. I mean, we just have there's so many things to do with it. And so hearing from these programs, and even just like Carnamora is like, I might get into streaming. Mr. Got Game might get into streaming. We might get into this next interview. So we're going to have Marion University's coach, Danny Ducic, joining us. in a second here, and we'll get to talk to him as well. And then we'll be getting ready for our first semifinal match. So get ready for that between Off the Pack and Company 8. So that'll be coming at you in just a second. And here is the coach now. Hey, coach, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing awesome. So thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to be here.
So what can you tell us about your esports program and sort of Marion University in general?
For sure. So the esports program is brand new this year. We've had a club for about 3 years existing. So in January, we decided to flip it into a varsity sport. So we've been working for a while now, and I feel like we're at a really good place. We've got about 25 kids in the program currently, and we're looking to hopefully get about 30 by the start of this school year.
When it came to the transition between becoming a club to becoming a program, was there any like pushback from like higher ups, or was it just kind of an easier process because of the student involvement?
It was a very easy process. The higher ups, really our athletic department, especially our athletic director, he really saw the kind of transition of esports into the collegiate scene, and he really wanted to capture it early on. So he kind of went to the higher ups and pitched it to them, and they obviously didn't really understand, so they needed to kind of look for it. And then once January, February kind of rolled around, and we started to pitch things to the higher ups. They understood it, and then they really got on board with it and gave us whatever we really needed to get to the stage that we are now.
That's awesome to hear. As someone that also works with and for a college that had that same sort of thing, that they went to right to athletics and sort of saw that potential. It's great to hear of another school doing that. And with the program, so what I know, like you said, you're still ramping things up, and obviously we're a little ways out from the school year starting. But sort of what's been the most exciting part for you building up this thing, and like what's the part you're sort of looking forward to the most?
Probably the most exciting part is I know my players really well. I just graduated from Marion in May. So, some of my players are, really good friends of mine. And now it's kind of an odd kind of relationship, but it's still the same thing. Um, but, looking forward to, I've already seen glimpses of our team doing extremely well in these different kind of scrimmages that we've had or tournaments that we've hosted. Um, so, I think that our potential for this coming year is extremely high. And I just can't wait to, finally get to show that and show how Marion can come in right away and be competitive.
Yeah, it sounds like a really good way, and obviously it's a really interesting gap between coaches and players. So, one more question: when it comes down to looking for players, what are things or aspects that you look for in order to recruit them to your team?
So I really want to find players that, thrive in a very team oriented environment. I really don't want those individuals to come in and think it's all about, it's a one man show in a team game. Um, so, I mean, those players that are both humble and, hungry to win, that's the perfect combination that I'm looking for.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, before we let you go, though, where can we find you on social media, or when you get the Twitch set up, what name do you think that'll be?
So our Twitch name is Marion underscore esports. Our Twitter name is at esports Marion. Um, our Twitter has all of the notifications when we do go live on our Twitch channel, which is every single weeknight. We're streaming, Rocket League, League of Legends, Overwatch, and some Call of Duty every single day. So, just to follow those and keep up to date would be extremely helpful for both players to, that want to be recruited to watch, and for our administrators to see kind of what's going on with us.
Awesome. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. So again, that was Coach Danny Dujic from Marion University, and I believe, pending word in my ear, I believe that is our last interview for this, and we're going to get ready here shortly to go into our first match of the day between Off the Pack and Company 8. And as we cut away from interviews, sort of transition here, Kanashi, we talked about how important it is to be team oriented. And we saw yesterday a lot of these teams playing around that Genji so well. I don't know about you. I'm expecting a lot of the same today.
Yeah, metas don't change overnight. But I would, I really
They
did
sure
like.
tried it.
I mean, if there was a patch note or something, maybe. But honestly, there's like that whole feel of the playing around the Genji right now is insane. There is the push of like, being able to get the halt Sigma combo even to start, or even just getting the halt into starting up the blade. It's just perfect chemistry and perfect textbook use, and that's exactly what we want to see coming out from here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too, when we look at these teams, now we're segueing to that best of three format from best of one. So best of one's effectively similar to ladder. And it's like, okay, you get a queue, you get into a game, you're on or you're not. It's your favorite map, it's your least favorite. There's not a whole lot of adjustments you can make, but in best of three, at least now, teams have an opportunity. If that first map doesn't go so well, they can either get their acts together, to put it, a certain way, and rebound, or if you get that initial lead, your team can really pour it on, try to finish it off too well.
Yeah, and especially, first map is going to be Lijiang Tower. We have a lot of variety depending on how you want to play, certain maps. Gardens has a different meta than the way how you would play Night Market, and vice versa when you get inevitably, if we ever get to Control Center. I don't think we've ever seen Control Center
I
the
don't think we
entire
did
tournament.
either.
Now that we think about it. But yeah, we're about to get into it. As Off the Pack is going to be taking on Company 8.
Yeah, really excited to see them have this going on here. So we'll be getting ready here in just a second. Looks like some fairly traditional comps as far as having the symmetry here on one side, though. Other team doesn't have one, so they're going to get the point a lot quicker.
Yeah, I think this is just like a normal thing just to get on the point and lock it down as quickly as they can. So we'll see what they decide to run coming out here. Once again, different maps require different metas.
Yeah, a lot of different game plans here coming together all at once. So we'll see how this initial fight plays itself out. So we're going to see a quick move on the point. Obviously, with the Symmetra, they'll be there first. They also have a Mei set up in that back corner, and they're really going to be able to bruise this up a little bit more than we might have seen other times when we've seen Lijiang.
Yeah, and they're trying to lock this down as quickly as they can by putting up as much, but it's just kind of difficult for them to get on the point. But that was a great wall.
Yeah, it was a really well played wall. Genji's even the first one down, forcing a 6-on-5 here. Great kill by Lava. They're going to be able to maintain here. Take first. Turrets are set up, and they're going to be able to hunker down on point.
Yeah, this hold is going to be really, really solid coming out. But
ooh, great first pick on the Sinister there. Another pick here on the Kyo, so they're going to find those initial 2 picks. And just like that, I mean, a 20% lead. Ooh, but maybe went out a little bit too far. Going to be able to pick up a pick on the Baptiste. Maybe they'll be able to do something with it.
Yeah, so Company 8 is just locking down the point as hard as they can right now. And just really not letting Off the Pack really get in here. That is exactly what they want to do.
Yeah, we're going to see Gravitic Flex finally coming out here. Sinister's going to be finding the kill onto the Arista. So no, Maytag Sinister finds another. Going to continue the onslaught. Bob is out. Momentum finds the whip shot, and Spec's going to clean it up. So we're going to see the retake finally coming out from Off the Pack as we cross the 50% mark.
Yeah, and they finally flipped the point. There's a little bit of a break for us to, catch our breath. Most of these teams are just, keeping the tempo, keeping the pressure up early, and they're just trying to take away the point as quickly as they can. So good play by Off the Pack for keeping the pressure up, even though they were down in numbers in that first half. But now they're just trying to bring it back.
Yeah, a lot of things coming out here. 2 Immortality fields coming out very quickly here, but here comes Lavo through the Blizzard here as well. So you're going to find a couple more kills. Kyo's Bangla's going to be taken out. The pin from Lava finds Sinister. That's effectively a team wipe. Momentum. No, they're actually going to call it as a team kill just in time before the respawn. And they're sitting pretty here.
Yeah, so Company 8 just being able to retake it again. Honestly, just really good uses of ults there. Good Blizzard to slow down the rest of the team and clean up. The Shatter was thrown there, also knock him down. and a good beat drop answer to the Dragon Blade.
We're seeing early bongo here. See if they can keep them off point for as long as they can. Maybe force a final fight situation here. Immortality field from Nexel already gone. Pin from Lava. So they take down both main tanks, and that'll stop them in their tracks as they're going to have to go back and look for a soft reset.
Yeah, and you know that timer is ticking down. They gotta, if they are gonna reset, they gotta kind of make it quick and figure out how they're gonna do it. They don't really have a lot of ultimates to play with, but 7th man Bob will be coming in right now.
Yo, what a clutch of dynamite there. Throws it just over the shield and pops it in time. And look at that. Sinister finding the kill ultimately there onto the Baptiste. Medici going to start moving in. So they've got a 6-on-4 set up. They're going to just make their way off point, cleaning up, continuing the onslaught here. And so they'll get the 93%, but they're going to have to work their way back on it.
Yeah, honestly, that was a really good play coming out from off the pack. Being able to throw the Bob in the back just to make him turn heads a little bit, and then you know, just a solid rollout from the Hammond.
Yeah, nothing like a good rollout, nothing like a good headshot from Sinister here once again. So they're playing really well with some different off angles created from Hammond and a Genji, but Sinister able to capitalize. And look at this, almost has 7th man Bob.
Yep, 7th man Bob could definitely come in and clean up, and Sinister almost already has it farmed up again, like almost matching the timing of the enemy Ashe here. They keep it going.
Ooh, Gravitic Flux finds 4. Can they finish off? Not quite. There's no immortality field available because CJ was taken out, so they're gonna have a hard time cleaning up here. We're gonna hear a blade a little bit from the sides coming in now from Medici, able to take down Lava here, but momentum's gonna be taken out as well in the crossfire. Sinister and Keo taking them down, and what turned out to be a really early lead here for Company 8. They might end up losing this first point.
Yeah, and that would be another really tight contest, and that's just the way how they have to go about it. Company 8 puts down the immortality field, just trying to get some bodies onto the point and stall it out, but they really do need a cap coming out here.
Yeah, they're gonna need something. Medici Keo and Specs getting 3 very early kills. Just like that, we're gonna see a little bit of a pick at least from D.Va on the Nexel, but not a whole lot after that. They're able to take the first round here going to off the pack.
Honestly, just a solid play coming out from off the pack. Just being able to turn the point back over, and having that lead, especially going into this one. Hey, it's Control Center! Yay!
We finally get there.
Actually, finally get there. We'll see if we see anything different. I know that, you know, Death Ball was favored quite a bit on this map, but we'll see. Like with the Genji meta, we don't know exactly what they want to run here.
You know, they've got a lot of options at their disposal here, but the Control Center, you know, you start to see a little more J Silly than normal, so you're not quite sure what's going to happen.
Yeah, so it's a couple of interesting pickups coming up here. We do see a Reaper, May Reaper, typical Death Ball, double shield. So a lot of interesting compositions coming out here.
Yeah, I really like the Death Ball combination here, so we're going to see Medici pick up that first kill here. Sinister, excuse me, taken down. Pummy going to find that next kill on the Keo. So again, it looks like we might see Company 8 get initial touch and cap, but we know that's how that story went last time, as we're going to see a stall here coming in from momentum, but not to be, as the fight will continue on point, and Medici taken out.
Yeah, that was just a solid take, and you know, Company 8's just, they want to push the tempo. They want to move up, take control of the point early. It's just a matter of if they can hold it against, you know, off the pack's retake.
We're going to see here, CJ does have Coalescence available already. We also see a Shatter and Blade available. Shatter not finding anybody, great block, but they find the kill anyway onto the May. And Sinister finding the headshot pick here on the Pummy. They're going to be able to retake with the fight off point, and they're continuing to invest. Amplification Matrix a little wayward, but they finish off the fight nonetheless.
Yeah, it was kind of a interesting retreat coming out from Company 8. They took the point early, and then they had to like back up completely to protect themselves there, and you know, contest the high ground. The one thing that you definitely have to watch out for is the number of ults that Company 8 is going to be rolling in here with. And we'll see if Medici could actually shut that down with that Dragon Blade.
Yeah, these blades are coming out quickly. Here comes the grab. Here comes the blade. No more immortality field available. He finds 3 Sinister, finds the rest. Kyo's gonna just say goodbye. Adios. But what a blade once again. Medici taking over with a team kill.
Yeah, that's just a tactical Shimada grab. You know, whichever iteration of dragon you want to put in that grab, either the blade or the dragon strike. It just tends to work out that way. So really good heads up play by Specs and Medici to clean that up. But once again, lots of ultimates gonna be available coming out here.
Really nice dragon from behind. They're gonna find a double kill here. Next, they're gonna take down Lavas with DPS Baptiste getting the work done. As Nexo's gonna take a boop to Sinister, but they're gonna cross 70% easy street here, and they've got an opportunity to put this one away as they're beginning to hold spawn door.
Yeah, and these fights are going pretty quickly. It is in their favor, like in terms of ultimate economy for Company 8. It's just that the way how Off the Pack is playing it, they're just staggering their ultimates so well that they could just connect on them.
They absolutely are. We're going to see Death Blossom find a couple of specs at least going to answer the trade here, but here comes Nexo and the rest of the team, so they're going to be able to find a couple of kills, and they're at least able to retake for now, but the way this has been, the back and forth will continue.
Yeah, it is very back and forth. Once again, 94% for the side of Off the Pack, but we got to see if Company 8 can lock it down. This is what bit them last time, so hopefully they can keep their bodies on the point and keep it going.
Yeah, we're going to see the Blizzard's going to definitely make that a challenge to get on the point at least. We're going to see Shatter come out, maybe a little aggressive, maybe they didn't need it, but they're going to still find a pick off of it anyway here. The adjustment on point being made. They take the momentum. Here comes the grab. Here comes Medici with the late blade, maybe a little bit too late. Still able to find Nexo at least. And so the fight will continue on. We're going to see Pummy pick up a kill. Spec's going to continue to trade with momentum. But here comes the comeback here. Might be able to retake, and it looks like they're going to be able to.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be a quick retake, but I don't even know if Company 8 has time to get back here to even touch.
Ooh,
no, well, looks like it.
Yeah, little sneaky Noctis there going to find his way back on the point, but it's not enough. And just like that, Off the Pack going to take map number 1 here on Lijiang.
Oh yeah, honestly, just really good play coming out from Off the Pack. Just being able to find certain picks here and there, and here's Medici. Probably with the grab blade here. Just everybody's hurdled up, just get the dash resets, get the damage in. Just everything works according to plan. But just really good numbers. Both of these teams are really close. It's just Off the Pack is just pushing the tempo a little bit more and catching Company 8 off of just questionable positioning.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier too at one point, it was sort of like a nail time to retreat. It wasn't as egregious as we saw last night on Dorado, giving up so much room and then having the fail there. But like they gave up just enough room where it was like you probably gave a gap that you didn't want to. And we saw that really quickly punished Off the Pack, off to a great start here as we get ready for map number 2.
Yeah, map number 2 is going to be a payload map. I think yesterday it was All Dorado, which it is a comfort pick. But definitely wouldn't mind seeing if anything else is going to be played out here. But yeah, just honestly really good play, great way to start off the day. A very close match on Ilios.
Yeah, absolutely. And part of what we're going to keep seeing too throughout the tournament as well is how the teams are able to leverage each other. So yesterday, obviously, when you have a big tournament format, you're going to have some skill gaps here or there, but really quickly we saw how evenly matched teams like this are with the back and forths. And so what you might have gotten away with messing up yesterday, you're certainly not going to get away with messing up today.
Exactly. Like you have a full day to reset and a full day to just like take your time too, going into this. So Off the Pack and Company 8, going head to head. Let's just see, if anything else plays out later down the line. But yeah, just to let you guys know, since this is, semifinals match, we do have prize pools for this tournament. First place is going home with $210. Second place is going home with $120, and third place is going home with $60. So every match win counts. It's important, obviously you can go home fourth place and still have like a really good thing to put on your resume. But everybody wants, that first, second. That's why we're here. We're here to compete.
For sure. And at the end of the day, that's sort of the name of the game, making sure, as Herm Edwards, to use a football reference, as Herm Edwards says, you play to win the game, and that's what we're here to watch today. We'll also give a little bit of a shout out here to two of our sponsors, ESTV and the NFL Alumni Association. Just to remind you, this event is brought to you by Esports College and Career Pathways. You are watching the Overwatch Collegiate Community Combine. I believe next week we will also be having a League of Legends event, so be sure to follow us on Twitter for more information about that. And if you know anyone that would be interested in signing up, make sure you smash that register button over there. And if you're not familiar with what we are, Esports College and Career Pathways provides a safe and supportive environment for gamers focused on diversity and inclusiveness, and we help to make that path transition from amateur and high school into collegiate as smooth as possible with substantial scholarships to make it worth your while. So we're going to be going to Dorado now, which again, we just alluded to a little bit earlier, and both teams, if they've watched any of the VODs from yesterday, which at this point actually would provide a lot of value given that these teams are still in the bracket, you can't give up too much room, but you're going to be looking at a long day.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we understand, high ground is really important. Gives you that proper angle, and it's harder to contest if you're on the low ground. But at the same time, you have to remember there's an objective. Like, yes, you can get all the kills in the world. You can kind of stop them from there, but the progress on the payload is the most important.
Yeah, they've got to be mindful of that for sure. So as we load in here to Dorado, we're going to have our first attack here coming from the side of Company 8, so they'll have their chance for redemption right at the gate. Meanwhile, obviously the advantage rides with Off to Pack, and they'll have a chance to answer here in just a little bit. We're going to see some Junkrat and Widow out of the gate here, and honestly, I really, really like that.
Yeah, especially on these like first points as well. You have a lot longer sight lines. We usually see Widow second point, but you could get up on some of these random buildings too and just get an interesting angle if they're not checking it.
They're going to have to be mindful of that. We're seeing a little bit of a tankier comp come out here. Orisa Diva. Ooh, Sinister with the Sinister headshot. Really nicely done. Like, they got to be mindful of that. They weren't prepared for it, and they're going to immediately swap over to a double shield comp. No Diva today.
Yeah, just being able to grab that immediately is a really big pick, and not allowing them to get any ult percentage coming out here.
Yeah, we're going to be watching to see what else they're able to put together here. Nice pull and rock combination here. We're already seeing Medici and Sinister get a lot of ult value, so we'll have to keep our eyes on the ult economy here as we begin to turn the corner.
Yeah, they try to get the pull going on here. They move on through Specs. I'm gonna find Pummy in the back.
Yeah, able to land that first kill, which is going to be massive for them, as the cart will have to pretty much stop on the corner here as they look for a reset. We might see a rotation to flip the field here as they go onto the high ground.
Yeah, they kind of know that they're doing this, so they're trying to answer back and keep them in the choke, which is the staircase right now. Usually you get caught up on the archway, but this could also work out here.
The amplification matrix coming out, not going to be quite able to see around that corner, but it gives them just enough. Sinister going to find the headshot on the Pummy though, which is going to stop any possibility of Bob coming out, at least for the time being. Here comes Tire. Accretion finds it, takes it out, and it looks like they'll be able to keep the cart moving unless they want to try for some sort of stall, and probably best served not to.
Yeah, exactly. They're just able to take the point quick, and if anything, they're just finding really good picks. Everybody's just on their game right now. There's not a certain like star power player at the moment.
No, they're gonna have to keep it that way at least for now. Sinister's had a really good performance so far, but they haven't found a way to quite get them off the cart. I mean, most of their team isn't even pickable, as far as health bars are concerned. And we're gonna see Hentai have ultimate here in just a second, so they're gonna be in trouble really soon.
Yeah, they use the halt there. Oh, they just committed Immortality Field. So if you are the Genji, you're possibly looking for it either here or maybe next fight, considering how much pressure you're applying already.
Yeah, so we're gonna see coming up here, they're gonna be turning the corner. 4 ultimates available, and if they want to, they can invest a whole lot here and still have more than enough time to regain others.
Yeah, and they're keeping the cart rolling. They're keeping one person on it, just pulling it forward, but they're trying to make it as quick and as slow as possible for them.
If we're gonna see what's coming up here, Kyo's gonna find the kill, and Sinister's gonna take down Immortality Field, so they're not gonna have that at their disposal. Meanwhile, the opposite Nexo's Immortality Field is gonna keep Specs alive here. They're gonna have an opportunity to sort of split the offense here on the one high ground, but playing from different angles, we'll see if they're able to pinch them a little bit here as they still have access to cart to keep it rolling.
Yeah, and you see members of Company 8 slowly rotate around, although Dragon Blade's going to start it off, though.
Yeah, Dragon Blade coming out. Next will be the first one to drop to it. 2 finds another one, and Lava able to clean up Kyo. So that they're able to take out 3, and they're able to push the cart the whole way while doing it, giving them long spawn and room to get this through the wall. Beautiful team kill.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want, especially on a payload map. Just gives you more progress. And yeah, it is the whole concept of a payload map is like if the defense loses one fight, like the other team gets a lot of progress. So you have to constantly win fights on defense, use your positioning to your advantage, and try to flex that.
Yeah, absolutely here, and they're going to continue to be pushing up here. Sinister finds the kill on the siege. They're going to fight in these tight corners here, looking to try to get something rolling. Accretion not going to land on anybody here, so they're trying to flip the board, see if they can generate anything. Dynamite finding a few, and so that'll at least get them a good start and takes down Sinister.
Yeah, and once again, Company 8 giving up a lot of space here. I understand that, like, still you want the positioning, but the card is almost to the checkpoint at this point.
Yeah, some of these fights, even if you lose them, you at least occupy some time and space. And if they only have one person moving, they're not going to get all of that far here. Gravic Flux coming out. Nexo keeps Specs alive with the Immortality Field. Here comes Nexo, or excuse me, Medici with the blade, not able to land anybody with it, and just ends up dying to Pummy here. So the DPS popping off for Company 8 as they look to keep things rolling here. Lava going to take down Kyo, and it looks like they might have something here.
Yeah, they're keeping that momentum rolling. Sends out 7th man Bob for even more pressure, and yeah, it's looking kind of bleak in order to touch this.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to, in almost 3 minutes left here on the clock, so they've got a lot of time to work with moving into as we flip sides here. And 2:45 coming back, so nothing to sneeze at. That's going to be a lot to work with.
Yeah, 2:45 is honestly really solid time coming out here, especially for all 3 points. Most teams do either get hung up on first or the 3rd point, but yeah, they just kind of kept it rolling regardless. Like they would take a lot of space, and then have one person just kind of inch the cart forward and do the best job that they can, and they were just able to get progress for free.
Yeah, they definitely gave up a lot of ground and probably not where they want to be. But regardless, they're going to have a chance to answer back. And like we said on that first map on Lijiang, both teams very evenly matched. And so this back and forth isn't necessarily unexpected, but certainly going to make it difficult for both players as it looks like we're going to see mirror comps.
Yeah, once again, that Genji is just too good. And with the ability to halt on Orisa, halt is just like the party starter, really. It's the Smash Bros of this whole team. You halt, you either see a blade. You halt, you see a gravitic flux. You halt, you get a rock in the face. You halt, you get dynamite. So there's just like a lot of stuff that they can get going depending on how many people the Orisa could hold.
Absolutely here, and as we check out this initial push here, Spec's going to try to at least get some damage onto the high ground. Nice accretion halt combination there once again, and not a lot of pressure here with this comp. They're going to be able to just push this through for free, and if Medici's able to get a good angle, could really hamper this rotation.
Yeah, it is a more difficult place to go, and they are going to be trying to hold it up here at the choke, and this is honestly one of the harder places to get through, but we'll see how they take how they go about it.
Yeah, this is one of the, absolutely, I agree with you. This is one of the hardest chokes to deal with in all of Overwatch here. You know, because really your only other option is going to high ground, and it's really just the same thing but a different spot, right? Like, you're not forcing anything awe-inspiring or earth-shattering here. No pun intended, but, you know, Amplification Matrix is going to be used. They decided to dodge it back nice and slow, but they're going to have to find a way to push through. Maybe their Amplification Matrix of their own can do it, as Medici going to find the first kill.
Yeah, they're just trying to get that pick, and Medici's pick on that one is going to be able to get him the blade. Might be able to push the tempo up too, or
Yeah,
they might not even need it.
Yeah, they're looking really to push the tempo for sure. Medici gets into the back line, finds two. Sinister cleans up Lava here, and they're gonna give Lava the long spawn, so the horse is gonna have to come back from all the way from the way back.
Yeah, and that's literally one of the heartbeats of the team. You do need that Orisa halt in order to get a lot done. So they have to wait on Orisa to either get to this high ground or apply a lot more pressure until they get there.
Absolutely. Here I was just about to say 7th man Bob is available. It goes too far, so they're not actually going to get a whole lot of value out of that. But it's still there nonetheless. Kio's going to have to rotate back for it. We're going to see Blade coming out here as well. Another Gravitic Flux of their own, but it's canceled here. Medici finds the kill onto Special, and that's a beautiful team kill here. They're going to be able to get the cart rolling.
Yeah, it was pretty scrappy, honestly. There's like things flying here and there. Not a lot of like, you know, wombo combos or certain coordinations to shut down an entire team. But, you know, just finding picks here and there and getting what you need done is really important. But I feel like it's going to come down to this retake coming out right now.
Hey, we're going to see Bongo, and that's really going to hamper the retake, not having Lava or Special available. Both main tanks now not going to be able to help them push. And Medici taking this one over, going to look to get them to go the distance.
And they're trying to get a little bit of pressure down on the bottom part there, but they lose CJ in that process.
Yeah, and they're in a tough spot here on the defense, right? They just haven't found an answer for Medici. Like, Noctis hasn't been able to stun lock them all that well, if at all. And they've just been able to push up and get so much ground here. And it looks like they're going to basically give up this whole underside for free like we saw the other way. They're just going to fight on the high ground and let them push.
Yeah, they're going to try to slow it up here.
Yeah, they're going to blade. We're going to see the blade from Hentai come out. They get a couple more kills to round it out. Bob comes out on point, so maybe a little bit overly aggressive here. Doesn't get a ton of value from Sinister, although he'll get back pretty quickly. And they'll have to look for the first true reset in a while here on this offense.
Yeah, just allowing them to reset and figure out what they need to do. This is really important for the pace of the game at the moment.
And we'll see how they're able to kick it up here from the attacking side. Medici and Nexo both have ultimates available. Here comes Medici onto the high ground like a Banshee coming after them here. They're able to finally take out Immortality Field and the Bongo, but Medici's taken out in the back line. There comes the Stunlock, and here comes Gravitic Flux as well. Not able to take anyone down yet, but again, Immortality Field is already on the cooldown here. So the fight will continue on the high ground, but they still can't quite get the cart moving just yet.
Yeah, they're trying to use things just to get them off high ground and try to get a little bit of space, but if anything, it's just ults being thrown out and people are just trying to get kills at this moment.
Yeah, not a whole lot of orchestration to this, how brawly this third point has gotten, and will probably continue to be, as we see the blade come out here from Hentai, able to pick up two, clean up the fight, takes down Kyo here pretty much. And so just like that again, but keep in mind they still have over 2.5 minutes to go, so they'll end up with less if they're able to go the distance. That's still very, very workable. Yeah,
it's just a matter of keeping presence on the point, and right now, you know, Company 8 is at first it looked like they were giving up a lot of space. They were giving up, you know, progress on the point, but after winning a couple of consecutive fights now, they're able to roll it back even further, and now they definitely have the time advantage.
Yeah, and they've also potentially got an ult advantage on the Tiger here as we see Bongo come out and Gravitic Flux. They're going to look to capitalize on that, but here comes Pummy and Special able to take down Nexel and Momentum here. And so again, they keep trying to find these pushes on the high ground. It's not quite working, and the low ground hasn't given them much help either.
Quite a bit of space, but you know, they're also kind of funneling into the corridor, and with abilities like Amp Matrix, they're just able to lean in so much damage and not allow them to push forward.
And yeah, nothing quite yet here as the push continues, and now we're already under a minute and a half, so they're gonna have to be mindful of how many pushes they have left, and ultimately how their ult economy is gonna shake out here. So we see the drop down here, Lava down on cart here, gonna try to challenge the Bob. Momentum and Keo gonna try to look for something. Here comes Medici's blade, takes out Pummy's Specs, finds Lava, and Keo finds DJ. So maybe they have something cooking here. The team split off though. We see behind Special and Head coming in here, but here comes the Dynamite finding Head Tie. They're gonna push it regardless. They got behind them and in between, and they go the distance, and they tie it at 3 points apiece.
Yeah, I do like the way how they play that out. They're saying, you know what, take the fight, separate them out from the card itself, and we can just push on through. So hopefully off the pack, find something in this 1 minute in order to just keep the tempo rolling, keep the ball rolling from that last point.
Yeah, Medici and that last push too as well, just absolutely on fire. Dude's been a problem throughout this tournament, and ultimately if they're gonna win this, they're gonna have to play through him.
Yeah, so it does come through here. It's going to be really interesting to see how they're going to play this next minute. It is plenty of time to, you know, get ultimates, find some solid picks. Once again, Mirror Comp's coming out here, so both these teams kind of have an idea of how they want to play it. No funny business, no junk, no widow, but they're just gonna try to stop them. Probably, hopefully at the archway. You just keep the ball rolling when they have the extra 3 minutes going into this next part.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, like you said, there's not a whole lot of funny business. I'd be inclined. I've even seen holds in under this initial first arch, and I wouldn't have been like, oh, they're holding that. Like, I know it's not sustainable, but you don't need sustainable. You just need time off the clock. So I wouldn't have minded seeing that. But yeah, I'm with you. I hope they hop down and contest early rather than late. Like they were gonna pick. There shouldn't be any rotation here. They need to just hop down here. But they're giving up all this ground on a 6-on-5, and a little too late now. Here comes the Dynamite, but now the tables have turned. Sinister finding a kill on the Pummy here. They're gonna be able to get this thing to go underneath in just a second here, as they've given up a whole lot of ground.
Yeah, and a whole lot of ground they're giving up, and once again they gave up the arc. They're slowly trying to rotate out from stairs, but they know their angle, so they're gonna just pick them off while they're going down.
Yeah, Sinister and Specs finding 2 quick kills here. I think he's gonna fall really, really low. Noctis taken down first though. As long as they don't Charlie Niner this though, honestly, once they clean this up, they should be able to go the distance with pretty much no problem. Might see a little bit of a recontest though, special swaps, but then they're going to lose all that valuable ult chart, so I think they're just going to be smart to give this up.
Yeah, I think they're going to give it up and then try to maybe get them off with whatever ults they can get in these next fight or two. You know that you have, you know, a Blade coming up, as well as Gravitic, if you really need to get some more damage in. So I think they try to stop it from turning the second corner here.
Yeah, they're going to have to look for something. And Keo already finding the kill on the Pummy. And here comes Keo with another kill on the Lava here. So we're sort of seeing how well this team plays in the crunch. Again, we talked about that before, that as you know, the tensions become higher, what teams are able to persevere without a skill gap advantage of any sort. And we're seeing right here how well they're operating.
Yeah, and now here's the scary thing. If you're, I mean, both teams all have their ults. So we're about to get like I destroyed. We're gonna see shield. We're gonna see, you know, pulls, dynamites, everything.
Here we go. Yeah, here's the Q Fest indeed. We're gonna see Gravitic Flux, but they weren't able to get them off the cart with this. Spice gonna be taken down. The Medici takes down Pummy. Really close to a C9 there, but they're able to avoid the amplification. Matrix is out on point. Special gonna find a couple picks here. Keo's in trouble as they begin to converge. And though the overtime clock winds down there, they're able to go about 1.5 points, and that's a pretty impressive push here against the tight defense.
Yeah, that is a solid push. And now that you have almost 3 minutes to play with, it is gonna be really tough, honestly. Like, I feel like if you are off the pack here, you're gonna play this as close as you can. Like, you just don't want to give up progress. You understand that you could take like a certain number of fights. So now would be the time. It would be, you know, play the cart, make sure that they can't roll their way all the way. You know that they have more time than you, so just play in that regard.
We'll have to see if they heed your advice there, Kanashi. They'd be well served to for sure. And in terms of this first fight here, again, so I talked about in the last one a little bit. If you play super far up, right, on a short clock, it makes a whole lot of sense. But here, with so much time available, you sort of get into this pinch of, well, we can't give up any ground, but we also can't play up and give up a whole lot more for misstepping.
Yeah, they got 3 minutes to really push and make the aggression. So we'll see how Company 8 is going to take care of this.
We'll see what they're able to put together here. Accretion Hulk gonna find some early damage here. Medici already finding a kill on the Pummy. It's DJ gonna fall really low. They're gonna have to heal back up on their own. I do like the fact that they're playing up a little bit farther than we've seen in the past, but Keo's knocked down off the high ground. Spec's gonna come to the rescue here, try to inhale some of that damage, but Hentai finding the kill on the Keo. They're gonna have to try to step back as quickly as they can, but they're gonna be able to clean them up here. But at least with that initial fight, they took a whole lot of time off the clock while they were contesting.
Yeah, and Sinister is gonna get brought down here, but really good ult charge. Like, if you see Sinister's ult charge compared to Pami right now, just so much of an advantage thanks to the Halt Brock coming out from Keo and Specs and Medici getting that initial pick off. So this is smooth sailing right now for Company 8, but they can expect a recontest coming out.
And we're going to see that right now as they're able to hold them in front of this first door. But Sinister finds the kill on the Pummy, and maybe they're putting something together here. Spec's going to take down Lava. Here comes Bob. 7th man going to try to cause some issues here. And already occupying point really well. Medici finds the kill on the Noctis. And I'm honestly, Kanashi, this is a really hard spot to attack. You've got a long ways to go here to get the point.
Exactly, and that's what I was saying. The ultimate economy from off the pack, like, at first it looked like, you know, they may have lost that first fight, but them having the ult advantage is what's gonna stop them and halt them from being able to push on. And it's gonna be pretty difficult trying to push on through here, considering that off the pack is gonna have 4 ultimates coming into this next fight. Meanwhile, you know, Company 8's only gonna have like 2.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, like you said, the others probably aren't coming in any quick order here. Nice halt. Gravitic Flux gonna come out here. They're gonna try to look for something. Specs and Medici gonna find kills with their ultimates here, and they're gonna have another couple of despair as long as they don't fat finger Q. So a beautiful team kill here, and you hit the nail on the head there, Kanashi. They're gonna have still even ult economies here. Look how far back this cart has rolled. Yeah,
and so if you are on the side of Company 8, you have to play your ultimates perfectly. There needs to be, you know, the halt grab blade. Like, it has to be, you know, maybe 3 or 4 man. I can definitely see it coming up, but it's gotta happen pretty soon.
Yeah, it really does here, and we're gonna see them try to make their way on the car here. Lava's gonna put down Bongo, and they're gonna combo with amplification magic. So a little bit redundant as you can't get the benefit from both, at least not to the fullest extent here. We're gonna see Bob coming out to try to hold on. Medici finds a melee on the special here, And if Medici is able to keep this up, maybe they're able to hold it on. Keo's going to be coming back fairly quickly, but Henta able to find the kill. So the fight will continue on point here. Another Bob going to come out. Keo with a nice pop-up, and the trading continues.
Yeah, and this is just a really difficult fight at the moment. Like, you know you need to keep pressure up, and it looks like Company 8 will get that. But now you're locked to the cart, and you don't have any ultimates to really play off of here. Meanwhile, Off the Pack has a built-in C9. If they want to use the Gravitic Flux in order to grab a couple people, that is the way to go.
If they're able to bait Immortality Field somehow really early on in this fight and go Gravitic Flux Blade, which they have the option to do now, and if they can stop Hentai from getting theirs, they really easily can wipe the floor here, and it looks like they might start to look for that.
Oh, that's gonna be huge. Grabbing
They get
so
it,
many.
they find 3! Keo takes down 2 more. They're able to pull it off, and Off the Pack is moving on.
Yeah, I mean, that was textbook play right there. You Gravitic Flux up, Specs. This is probably the play, honestly. We want to see it from his perspective. Oh, no, it was the earlier one. But, still same concept. Put him down, let Medici get the blade off, but, like, their coordination coming out from Off the Pack is insane, and they're just playing that to the best of their ability. Congrats to Off the Pack for moving on. They're going to be playing off against one of the other teams that we're going to have coming up next.
Yeah, we're going to have our semis coming up here. Byzantine Empire versus support players, Harem, in just a little bit here. We just want to say thank you again to our sponsors, ESTV and the NFL Alumni Association, for their work and helping us support this event. And at this point, we're going to get our next teams ready for the match coming up. And so we're going to be cutting to an ad break here. So we'll be back on the other side of that with semifinal number 2 between Byzantine Empire and support players Harem. Don't go anywhere.
Campbellsville University, preparing tomorrow's Christian servant leaders today.
Sharing the beauty of music, that's my calling.
The caring hands of healthcare, that's my calling.
Building infrastructure that powers business, that's my calling.
Surpassing expectations, that's my calling.
What's your calling?
Go for it.
Okay, so for 1,000 Rocket League credits, we got Gotcha Peter for the winner of it.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Esports Collegiate Career Pathways we are dedicated to helping gamers, players really improve their game, whether at the collegiate level like we are today or as a career.
Go to your buddy and be like, hey, I got paid to play video games and get good grades. What did you get money for?
We really want to give a foundation for gamers to come in, express themselves in their own way, give them a competitive base setting, and provide them with the equipment necessary to, thrive in that competitive setting.
We looked at the resources that are available. And even yesterday, I was talking to parents and players, and they didn't even know there were varsity teams at the college level, let alone that there's scholarships. So we took upon ourselves that we really want to put together these combines, not just like Rocket League we're doing now, but we're doing League of Legends in 2 weeks. And beyond that, we're probably going to do Fortnite to really give resources and a recruitment tool for the colleges, but really to get these players in front of the right people at the right time.
We really want to give a foundation for gamers to come in, express themselves in their own way, give them a competitive base setting, and provide them with the equipment necessary to, thrive in that competitive setting. We are planning on having Fortnite, Rocket League, League of Legends, Overwatch, Apex Legends, Call of Duty, and possibly Rainbow Six Siege. Now, these are going to be played at a competitive level. We are also going to have, all sorts of other games to be played at a recreational or just, an at-ease without a competitive side level. In our first year, we are actually building a brand new state-of-the-art esports lab dedicated just for our esports program. This will have, the best and brand new state-of-the-art equipment that can handle gaming and streaming with ease.
I thrive better in a smaller learning environment, and I like the fact that Bay State is a smaller student body population.
They really truly care about our success here at Bay State College as well as our future successes.
It definitely pushes you to your creative point and really teaches you how to refine your ideas and put them into something beautiful.
This journey started with me, but it's become so much more. Up here, your friends become your family. It's not always easy, but this place makes it all worth it. I know my degrees will take me where I want to go, and these connections will last a lifetime.
I wanted to experience something different, to still do the things I love, but also try new things. Up here, connections are strong. We're all in it together.
Michigan Tech is like its very own thing. I've learned to take risks. I've been challenged. The people I've met and the things we do, this is real.
I always get the help I need, and I give it right back by getting involved and being a part of something bigger. At Michigan Tech, the classes shape your mind, but the experience of being here, it shapes you into who you want to be.
Tomorrow needs Michigan Tech. Tomorrow needs you.
I'm searching to party up. These games you play ain't worth too much. I'm searching to party up, and this player packs a punch. So party up with me. Come here, baby. Party up with me. It's so easy. So party up, party up, party up, party up, party up, party up,
Welcome back, everybody, to Esports College and Career Pathways Overwatch Collegiate Community Combine. I'm Paul, joined alongside Kanashi, and we just had a really awesome match between Off the Pack and Company 8.
Yeah, honestly, just really solid gameplay coming out from both teams. Highly coordinated in a way, so really, I feel like the Genji is going to be something that, a lot of teams are probably scrimming and practicing against already, but it is pretty much like the whole combo of not getting halted into Gravitic Flux into Dragon Blade.
And with that, we're already going to get ready to segue into our first set, or our second semifinal match, the first map of that. We're going to be going to Lijiang Tower, and we've got support players Harem versus Byzantine Empire, both teams of which we saw them on stream yesterday. And once again, if we're, in terms of talent, these teams are as good as it gets and incredibly evenly matched.
Yeah, these teams know exactly what they want to do and how they play. I can give a little bit of heads up. I'll wait until we actually get into the match, just to see where they decide to land in terms of characters. But earlier today, I was actually hopping into Memistry's channel, his Twitch channel. Go ahead and check him out. He's actually a really cool guy. But yeah, on support players Harem, and yesterday he was on the tank role, and he was saying like, you know what, like I wasn't doing that good. I didn't feel it. I wasn't feeling it. Today he might switch with Sincere. So we might see some role swaps coming out from some of these teams compared from yesterday to today. And all these guys, once again, are like they're in a relatively tight circle together. But yeah, we're about to hop straight into Lijiang Tower. And let's just see what they decide to run.
Ooh, so we're gonna see Ministry on the Torp here.
Yeah, something that he was definitely saying, like they wanted to switch something up this time. Another fun fact here, if you guys want to add a little bit more subtext to this game, Dash and Stunner used to play on Team Elysium together. They were both the DPS line for that team, so they both know each other. I've met both of them at LANs. They're both really cool people. So it's just a matter of how well do they play against each other as well.
And we're going to find out for sure. And Dash going to get things started out very quickly here. Him and Pad's going to pick up a couple of kills here. Force an early 6-on-3 and send them running for the hills. And they're going to clean them up. So I really like this. Making sure to get the most of this fight in terms of ult charge. Sending them all the way back to spawn. And they're going to get first cap here.
Yeah, and this is one of those difficult things that you had to worry about. When it comes down to this team, you're running a death ball into a dive. So, like, one team wants to play it nice and slow, wait for the other team to make the move first. The other team wants to, play at their own tempo.
Yeah, and Dash trying to turn up the tempo there, and in the process, going for the blade and gets insta-killed there. So they're going to have a problem. They're going to have to retreat back on the point here to deal with Splotchy Lime. They're taking out as well, so now a 5-on-5 in spawn advantage in terms of Dash. So they're going to be coming back across the gap in just a short second here. The fighting continuing on point here. Greninja putting on so much damage here. Angry Monkey Time on point as Vega is taken out. Grab doesn't find anybody here. They continue to just smash the Q button, but it looks like Byzantine's going to look to clean up.
Yeah, they're trying to get the cleanup, and Dash is coming back here. They happen to just keep it locked down, even though they lost the initial pick. They're just finding picks here and there that just work out for them. I just feel like it's just pure aggression coming out from Byzantine Empire at the moment.
Yeah, and they look really good doing it. And again, like we saw Dash go for that initial blade to start off that last fight. A massive EMP lands all with 6. They're gonna to actually look for the blade into it. Maybe not totally necessary, but they're going to go for it regardless here. Deflect from Splashy Lime will keep Dash at bay to back them and Sincere into spawn, and they'll cross 80%.
Yeah, and that's a really important threshold. But couple of interesting ultimates. They have both support ults going to be coming out for Byzantine Empire, and a lot of ultimates coming out on the other side. And they tend to not go for this bridge. They understand the boot potential, but they have to get something rolling here.
Yeah, and Dash going to find an initial pick on this Splotchy line. They're fighting way off points. Somebody's got to touch, and someone did enough to trigger it. If you touch within 5 seconds, the OT clock starts, and though they're going to have to fight on point, that fight is going to be heavily in favor of the Byzantine Empire here. Dash going to find the headshot on the Sincere. Splotchy line coming in with a blade of their own. Finds 2, but CCP going to finish it off, and it looks like this will go to Byzantine.
Yeah, they were just able to lock him down. They knew that they didn't want to go on the bridge because of all the pressure of potential, environmental kills there. So hugging that right side was the right answer. But in that whole process, you let ZZIB get a 6-man EMP that shuts down the entire team. And if you have extra damage on top of that with Dash, there's just so much damage that's just being put out here. It's just making it really difficult. But the lineup for support players Harem is actually really favorable on this map.
Yeah, and again, we're going to be able to see if Dash is able to pull off these crazy starts to the fight. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. Meanwhile, we're going to see Mean Mystery and Splotchy line opt for something a little more brawly. They'll go into the Reaper and Junkrat here as we start this first fight.
Yeah, they want to roll as a team, and this is the best way of getting around it. They just have to be able to clean up and punish some of the tempo.
Yeah, and Blue Boss able to do that, taking out Dash to start the fight, but we've seen this before, and it didn't necessarily translate. I mean, ZZIB gonna find a rocket punch, but the rest of the team gonna clean up here for support players. They're gonna be able to work it back and get first cap here on Control Center.
Yeah, and they want to set the tempo here. They may have lost the first point, but they want to keep the tempo up and rolling now for support players at the moment. Chari is actually the support player for UC Berkeley, so it's really interesting to see him on a tank role today.
And Vega gonna pick up a kill on that support role here as well. They're gonna look to put in. ZZIB swapped over to the Mei, so even though they were the only one that really found a pick in that first fight on the Doomfist, they make the change to kind of counteract how brawly Meme and Splotchy got in terms of DPS, and they're going to be able to push this hole here. They wall in Stunner and Chari, and they're taken out, and here's that success again from Byzantine.
Yeah, and this is a tough decision now. You have a lot of good ultimates coming out, but the wall could literally shut that down, can stop your push, could separate out your team, so you either have to walk in a straight line to get there, or find a way through.
Yeah, and even if so we see that Splotchy. Ooh, beautiful fire strike and a find too. Dash finding Chari there. We'll circle back to the other point I had in just a second here. Ninja gonna look to clear out Mean Mystery with another fire strike. The man's unstoppable here. The other remark was just gonna be that they took out the tire, and even if it did land, they were always staying in Immortality field. So everything looking Byzantine.
Yeah, and they're just pushing up the tempo. Now they know that they use the wall, so lots of ultimates are probably going to be flying out here.
Another double flame strike kill again. That's one of the fastest team kills I've ever seen, and that was basically a dry running on, except for the shatter, but not even a nano with it. That was beautifully done there.
Yeah, just a shatter and a bongo. Not a lot invested for a full team wipe, and once again, they are making this very difficult for their team to really just push on forward here. And that's what you got to do. When you have a Mei, you have that block off potential, and here it is again.
Yeah, we're going to see again Dash and ZZIB going to find a couple kills with their ultimates. Vega finishing up Splotchy Lime, and we're going to see a contest here from Meme Street, but they're going to have to make some swaps if they won't even have a chance of touching.
Yeah, it's just they're keeping the tempo up so quickly and just pushing it up on them. It's making it so difficult for them to actually do anything. Let's see if they could even touch at this point. It doesn't even seem like it.
Nope, they weren't able to get there, and Byzantine Empire handily taking map number 1 on Lijiang here, off to a really hot start.
Yeah, they definitely want that. Yeah, play of the game going to the Reinhardt here. Like, Ninja had the right play. After the wall, they know that the Rhine has to swing to stop that. So, beautiful, like, 4 or 5 man shatter there. And, you know, the rest of the team got the cleanup. It was just well played coming out from there. I feel like the adjustments from support players Harem need to be a little bit quicker. They understood that, you know, they had the Mei pretty quickly, and that was going to cut off a lot of their lines in. So either switching something up on that realm, or, you know, maybe you could go back to the other the way how everybody was playing yesterday, with Chari on the support line, Mimishri on a tank, and then put somebody else back on the main DPS. But once again, like, these two teams got here for a reason. They're both here in semis. But yeah, we'll just see if anything else plays out. They definitely want to flip it going into the payload map.
For sure, Ninja just popping off on the Reinhardt there. We saw some really solid play from Vega on Lucio. I've seen Vega play a lot of Lucio on a variety of T3 level teams, and they're just absolutely popping off. And I think if you're support players, you've got to find a way to slow down Dash. I mean, even if he gets in the back line and they're able to pick him off, they're not able to capitalize on it. So I think, like you said, if you're going to find that first pick, you've got to make an adjustment quickly, and you've got to move forward on that.
Yeah, the second that they find a pick, they need to flex that advantage. You know, when you have the 6v5, you got to just push in and make sure that, you know, without their damage output, what are they going to do? How do you roll your advantage onto point? And especially playing a death ball into a dive, it's kind of a different game, because the dive wants to hit your backline, but the death ball wants to move forward. So it's a matter of finding the right picks and being able to, you know, call focus, and, you know, just a lot of things that are going on and that determine whether the game goes in their favor or not.
Absolutely. So just a reminder here, we are in our semifinal match number 2. Our first one went to Off to Pack, so the winner here will move on to face them in the finals following this match. You are watching Esports College and Career Pathways Overwatch Collegiate Community Combine. If you don't know what Esports CCP is, we are an organization that looks to build a safe and supportive environment for gamers to make that transition from amateur level or high school level to the collegiate ranks. We also want to thank our sponsors, ESTV and NFL alumni, and thank you to everyone that's, you know, participated, been in chat, and hung out with us to watch these matches. Yesterday, we had interviews with Coach Ryan Hintz from Concordia. We had a player from Marion University, Advanced Pirate, and we had Caitlin Roos from Michigan Tech University join us yesterday. So thank you to them, and thank you to all of our interviewees that were with us when we started the broadcast tonight. And as we get ready here for map number 2 here at Kanashi, just to touch on your point again, support players here might definitely have their work cut out for them with how well Byzantine Empires have started off here.
Yeah, and I don't honestly know what they want to do going into, you know, the payload map. We've seen a lot of Dorado, and I feel like Dorado is a safe pick for a lot of these teams. And we'll hear from it in a second. Yes, it is. It is Dorado once again. Another popular and very comfortable map for a lot of teams. So we'll see what they decide to run on here. If they decide to hold a choke, go for the Mei. If they want to run the Widow, I've definitely seen a couple of these players play Widow before, so we'll see if they decide to play out that way.
Yeah, I think Dorado gives you a lot of options, and like we talked about even in the last match with Company 8 and Off the Pack, like just finding ways to play this, and you're not giving up too much ground where you're still playing aggressive enough that you're not getting burned. And, you know, I think you could see some Widow play here again. You know, we're going to be seeing the Genji again for sure. And we're going to continue to see that throughout. It looks like we might see Mimistry here. They still have the chance to change, but we might see them swap over to the Ashe.
Yeah, so here's the thing that I'm really excited about. Stunner is now on the DPS. Stunner made his name, like, by playing, like, DPS for the most part, so I was really concerned when he was playing, you know, off tank. It is something that he's also comfortable with, but this is probably the best matchup that we'll see. You know, both these guys fought for the same slot on the team, so maybe he has to say, you know what, we got to bring it back.
They've got to look for something here for sure, and all changes welcome at this point. Past the 3, if pushing it to match point here is Byzantine Empire. So we're gonna see a Ryan Zarya tandem here up into double shield, and if they're able to get Splotchy charged up this time around, I mean, maybe they're able to put something together, but it's gonna be a tough battle working through the double shield.
Yeah, and you see that battle going out between Dash and Stunner. Like, they're immediately going head to head, and just keeping him off the rest of the team is the most important part of this.
Ooh, Chari gonna find the pin onto Dash, but at what cost? 4 kills, excuse me, coming in regardless here, and we're watching that time already ticking down. Gonna get close to 3 minutes here.
Yeah, they're able to push that up as quickly as they can, and you know, once again, that choke is going to be a more difficult spot to really defend, but looks like they are going to be going down the stairs now. They did get it out from under the choke, but it's a matter of how much space can they actually take.
Yeah, Dash gonna take up a whole lot of the space there on the dash in. ZZIB and the DPS popping off. Just gonna clean up Splotchy Lime here. Blue Boss is gonna try to get back in the spawn at least for the reset, and will be able to, but support players still trying to find something, a little bit of momentum to get going.
Yeah, and you know, the ult charge is gonna be very important coming out from here. When it comes down to it, Mimistry, Stunner, and Chari just really have to find out like the tempo that they want to play at.
Absolutely. Here, ZZIB gonna take down Stunner there. Mimistry gonna follow in short order, so they just really don't have an answer for all these off angles. We're gonna see Blue Boss just challenging the high ground a little bit, but Dash gets back to Sincere, and once again, Dash taking over.
Yeah, and Andy also didn't even have to commit Blade for that, so that's a hard stagger onto the Zarya as well. So they're gonna be able to walk it out and figure out how they want to play this, but Stunner has Blade essentially for this X fight, and a nano boost coming out from Sincere. So we'll see if that plays out, if they can actually get that up and running, and you know, if it actually helps them out.
Gonna see the Blade coming out here really quickly here. Ninja gonna find the kill onto Chari. Dash finding a kill onto Sincere. Sending them back to spawn. A little charge around the Splotchy. I'm gonna fall really close to one, but nicks out in time. And so they're gonna have at least some ultimates to work with. But with how far back the cart is, they need to win multiple fights likely to get this the distance.
Yeah, make sure he's switching it up this time. He said, you know what, maybe the Ashe isn't working out for us. I'm gonna go Soldier, put a little bit more output damage. No, he's actually gonna go for the Widow. Okay, so we'll see how this goes. Nano Blade going to be starting off the fight.
Yeah, they're gonna Nano Blade and Gravitic Flux. Is ZZIB gonna find 3? Ninja taken down, but ZZIB finding 4, finding the 5th. Basically, almost looking for that solo ace. Not gonna maybe get it on the tail end here. Dash taking out Splotchy Lime, and somebody signed this guy. Unbelievable. And with 30 seconds to go and not a whole lot of ults available, it's gonna be really tough.
Yeah, once again, that choke on the first point is probably one of the hardest places to really push through, and we see it firsthand here as Stunner's gonna get brought down by ZZIB. There's only a couple of seconds left, so ultimates are gonna be flying out.
Yeah, we're gonna be seeing here Ninja taking down Mimistry here with the headshot. ZZIB just, you're gonna hear that broken record this whole match because they're just unstoppable. Pause with some nice Baptiste cleanup, and that's how it's done on the defense. Really well played by Byzantine.
Yeah, they wanted to push this up as fast as they can, and they kept the tempo going. But yeah, just being able to lock down that choke was really important for Byzantine. They played a lot of off angles. They made them look in different directions because, you know, ZZIB may have one specific way of like shooting through it, but at the same time, like, you have to deal with Dash, who's constantly in your back, figuring out, you know, who to pick off in terms of, like, you know, low HP 200s, and they're just getting pick after pick.
For sure. I'm seeing a couple messages in the chat asking about some of these players. So someone was asking, is Stunner a known player? And they think he used to be contender for Australia. Can you confirm that, Kanashi, or is that something we can look up?
I don't know if he played in Australia. I know that he's from the US. He did play. I know he played in Open Division for a little bit. But he was back in the day. He played a lot of hit scan. That was something that he was really like known for. And he had Genji in his back pocket as like a secondary pick. But today it looks like they are going to be switching it up here. Both these teams, they're kind of comfortable with each other. Personally, so it might just be a little bit of a funner match coming out.
Yeah, and Byzantine, someone asked if they thinks they're all top 500. They pretty much are. I mean,
yeah, they are.
Vega and Ninja are like way up there. You can find them on Twitter, pretty much any outlet. The whole team's just sort of stacked. So you're watching really high elo play here. And you're seeing the product of their sort of work together, even though this is mostly a pug format, effectively. So we're gonna see Dash challenging Stunner here on the high ground. They really don't have room to give up here. ZZIB finding that early headshot on the Stunner, and like it's crazy that arm already might be a sort of damning sentence for them here as they begin to move forward.
Yeah, it's just a lot harder to play through this when you know that you have some crazy amounts of damage coming out. They're going to be just kind of playing it out, you know. They go with a double sniper. Yeah, just got to let them roll it through, and yeah.
Yeah, that's how it's done. Not a whole lot to say other than Byzantine Empire making it look easy. So with that, we say GG's to support players who had a really great run of their own, but Byzantine Empire putting it on in CCP with a clinic.
Yeah, there's no other way how this wouldn't have been theirs, but honestly, nice halt into Dynamite. Yeah, that I don't even know after that. Like, yeah, he just put on a clinic, just finding heads or even body shots at that point, and just cleaning up the rest of the team that he needed.
Yeah, that was super well played there, and I mean we've seen it throughout the tournament, right? Like we saw Byzantine on stream yesterday, just how clean they looked then, and you're gonna expect that sort of thing again with, with Off the Pack coming into the finalists here, honestly. And so we're gonna have that coming at you in just a couple of minutes, it sounds like. So we're gonna cut to an ad break, but then we'll be back with the finalists after that. Don't go anywhere.
Campbellsville University, preparing tomorrow's Christian servant leaders today.
Sharing the beauty of music, that's my calling.
The caring hands of healthcare, that's my calling.
Building infrastructure that powers business, that's my calling.
Surpassing expectations, that's my calling.
What's your calling?
Go for it.
Okay, so for 1,000 Rocket League credits, we got Gotcha Peter for the winner of it.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Esports College and Career Pathways we are dedicated to helping gamers, players really improve their game, whether at the collegiate level like we are today or as a career.
Go to your buddy and be like, hey, I got paid to play video game and get good grades. What did you get money for?
We really want to give a foundation for gamers to come in, express themselves in their own way, give them a competitive base setting, and provide them with the equipment necessary to, thrive in that competitive setting.
We looked at the resources that are available, and even yesterday I was talking to parents and players, and they didn't even know there were varsity teams at the college level, let alone that there's scholarships. So we took upon ourselves that we really want to put together these combines, not just like Rocket League we're doing now, but we're doing League of Legends in 2 weeks. And beyond that, we're probably going to do Fortnite to really give resources and a recruitment tool for the colleges, but really to get these players in front of the right people at the right time.
We really want to give a foundation for gamers to come in, express themselves in their own way, give them a competitive base setting, and provide them with the equipment necessary to, thrive in that competitive setting. We are planning on having Fortnite, Rocket League, League of Legends, Overwatch, Apex Legends, Call of Duty, and possibly Rainbow Six Siege. Now, these are going to be played at a competitive level. We are also going to have, all sorts of other games to be played at a recreational or just, an at ease without a competitive side level. In our first year, we are actually building a brand new state-of-the-art esports lab dedicated just for our esports program. This will have, the best and brand new state-of-the-art equipment that can handle gaming and streaming with ease.
I thrive better in a smaller learning environment, and I like the fact that Bay State is a smaller student body population.
They really truly care about our success here at Bay State College as well as our future successes.
It definitely pushes you to your creative point and really teaches you how to refine your ideas and put them into something beautiful.
This journey started with me, but it's become so much more. Up here, your friends become your family. It's not always easy, but this place makes it all worth it. I know my degrees will take me where I want to go, and these connections will last a lifetime.
I wanted to experience something different, to still do the things I love, but also try new things. Up here, connections are strong. We're all in it together.
Michigan Tech is like its very own thing. I've learned to take risks. I've been challenged. The people I've met and the things we do, This is real.
I always get the help I need, and I give it right back by getting involved and being a part of something bigger. At Michigan Tech, the classes shape your mind, but the experience of being here, it shapes you into who you want to be.
Tomorrow needs Michigan Tech. Tomorrow needs you.
I'm searching to party up. These games you play ain't worth too much. I'm searching to party up, and this player packs a punch. So party up with me. Come here, baby. Party up with me. It's so easy. So party up, party up, party up, party up, party up, party up,
Welcome back, everybody, to Esports College and Career Pathways Overwatch Collegiate Community Combine. I'm Paul, joined by Kanashi, and we're excited to be bringing you our next match here in just a couple minutes.
Yeah, we are doing the losers finals now. So Company 8 just lost to Off the Pack, so they're gonna be dropping and facing off against Byzantine Empire.
Yeah, and we saw Byzantine just sort of command the field there, and it's hard to see a reason why they win it again, despite the fact that they are in losers bracket. So it's happened before, and like we say, with formats like this, even best of 3 now with that little bit of an extension, you can still maybe catch them off guard.
Yeah, and the other thing is that Byzantine Empire is just coming off the win, so there might be a little bit of momentum rolling into this next one. Once again, the first maps are going to be control point maps. We're hearing it again. We are going to Lijiang Tower. Hope you guys aren't sick of that map already.
Yeah, old reliable here.
Yeah, old reliable pick here. We had that. By the way, the other 2 maps that were in the pool are Busan and Oasis. So I see, like, Lijiang is the most comfortable out of those, but like you can mix it up on occasion if you wanted to.
Yeah, and I would take Busan. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know personally I would take Busan just 'cause I think it offers a little bit more variety. I think it's a little more fun, and I think in this Genji meta, especially for a team like Byzantine, like, you can run a full dive there and just move around the Genji as much as you want with as much room as you want. But in these tight quarters, we're seeing how the dashes and blades are working. Can't argue with that success so far.
Yeah, I definitely see how, like, a close off space can help him out here. But at the same time, like, Busan has so many difference in elevations, like on drum. Like, you have that option to like go on top of the drum. You can like go on the side. There's just a whole bunch of just options. And yeah, we're definitely gonna see those coming out here.
Absolutely, and so we'll see this first push of Dash is going to come out here on this Symmetra, and then it looks like probably very, very quickly just swapping back back to the Genji once everybody goes through it here. And so this dive is going to be set up very nice for them. Great camera work there too by Leche.
Yeah, and they wanted to push up the tempo, but you already see the other team's already up there. Company 8 is just making sure, if you want to dive, well, you can't dive on us if we're already dove on you.
Yeah, and they really have a nice hunker down comp here with Pummy and Hentai here. Going to be on the Symmetra and May. They're just going into a world of pain early on, and they might have finally found an answer for Dash's Genji that's so far been sort of unstoppable. Yeah,
they're playing this quite well, honestly. The use of the May is going to be able to lock down the point quite well, and especially on dive characters. Like, you can lock down a character if you get enough of a beam on them. You can slow them up pretty hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we're gonna see the fight continue on point here as they begin to move Vega, and they'll take out CJ there in the back end of that. Symmetra's got a whole lot of charge as well, so they're gonna have a hard time working through. Greninja caught inside that wall, gonna barely be able to slip out, pick some heals up from pause, and they just can't quite find a way in, and the ult economy is certainly working against them.
Yeah, the ults are just trying to be thrown left and right and trying to get something going on for them. He throws Vega into the pit, too. This is just kind of an interesting fight coming out, and it just shows, you know, dive can work if you can catch them out individually, but it's kind of hard to dive into 6 members.
Yeah, it's really hard to dive into a Mei and a Symmetra, right? Like, they're just going to put out so much damage so quickly, and that level of CC right now, if you're able to land the accretion, if you're able to get anything with the Ice Beam, or anything like that, you're working through an immortality field, and they're going to have beat drop shortly. So unless CCIV finds something really nice with this barrage, which is totally possible with the Coalescence, they're going to have a hard time breaking this defense.
Yeah, it's going to be all up to I'm Special. If he's going to be able to catch all of that, but he's going to be the first one to go down to the barrage.
Yeah, so he's able to take it, or to take it out. Lava going to find the Fire Strike on the pause here, so that's 2 kills. They have the advantage here on a 5-on-4, and unless they're able to work around from the other side, they might not be able to touch here. So they've sort of got the offense split in a bunch of different directions, and Lava is going to hold the door here. They're going to put the wall up and just barely touch.
Yeah, it's getting through the window. It's going to be able to give him enough time. A beat drop is going to be committed here. So is the Immortality.
And we're going to see what they're able to put together now. Ninja takes down Immortality like you mentioned here. We're going to see Lava sitting on that corner just trying to do something to Vega. We're going to see a melee come out from Special to take them out. Gravitic Flux will follow, but might not be able to land anything here. Everyone's so split up and they don't have much follow-up left here. And after what was such a commanding series before, this Byzantine gets 100-0 there.
Yeah, they played the first one quite well, but I think, yeah, Gardens was the only map that they didn't play on the last one. So could be just a weak map. You never know. But yeah, now they're going to be on Night Market, and this is more, I believe this one's a little bit more dive friendly. If they wanted to go for that, you know, dual angle in the sky, I can see that. But I feel like if you don't have like enough healing or enough support to really like keep you up in those times, you can get brought down quite quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And so they're going to have to look for something. I mean, like we said last round, just not a whole lot coming there. And they're gonna have to try to find something like after 100-0 too. That's gotta be pretty demoralizing after how commanding their last win was. But here comes the fight breaking out on point. Both teams have the Symmetra, so they're able to brawl it out super quickly here. They might have an early advantage, but Ninja is gonna lose a whole lot of shield. Both immortality fields are out, and neither has been erased. But here comes the first one, and here comes the DPS taking down both tanks. And just like that, Company 8 picking up where they left off. Yeah,
they're just hunkering down so well, and not giving any space to Byzantine whatsoever. It really, in that fight in particular, it just came down to the way how they were, like, essentially focusing down targets, figuring out who they wanted to pick off first, and then just rolling with that.
Yeah, Dash finally getting a pick, so we haven't seen many kills, let alone picks here for Byzantine. But maybe they're going to be able to operate with that. Here comes the Symmetra wall, and here comes the Amplification Matrix. They can't take down the turrets quickly enough, though. And Lava's going to find a double, and Bummy's going to find ZZIB, Noctis with another kill. And just like that, that's a beautiful team kill here for Company 8. And so far, once again, they're bringing it home.
That was one of the cheekiest teleporters I've ever seen. That was a Team USA like teleporter. What they did in that whole fight is yeah, Pummy put a teleporter behind them. Lava TP through Shattered from the back. It's like there's one of those things where, like, especially in the middle of a fight, you're not really looking for that. So yeah, if you get caught off guard, like, I think they're trying to set it up again. It might go in their favor.
Yeah, they've been looking really good with that Symmetra and using it in unique ways, because not only do you get that incredible damage output, you're going to be able to find interesting angles for you here. But here comes Blizzard. Everyone's going to hit the Q button a little bit here. CJ takes down Dash. A big loss. Blizzard coming out. Lava and Pummy going to finish it off. And they're going to force this to a final fight already here, Kanashi.
Yeah, and this is just really well played, honestly, from Company 8. they may have, you know, watched the fight a couple times. They said, you know what, we came from winners bracket. We gotta, you know, get that rematch, run it back real quick. And that is the way how they got to go. But it's gonna be pretty tough.
Yeah, CCIB gonna try to get into the back and look for some kind of pick. Doomfist specialty, but nothing quite there. I'm especially gonna find a couple in the Gravitic Flux. Shatter gets a couple bodies at least to shake things up. Dash and Paz gonna be taken down next. And Lijiang Tower 200 to nothing here goes to Company 8.
Yeah, Company 8 just played that so well. There's just so many individual, like, well-placed moves, and I think this is it. Like, I mean, Lava's Reinhardt. Let's just see that teleport. You just see it right behind him. They didn't even see it coming. You know, just this was Persona 5. That was their last surprise. It was just over at that point. But yeah, we saw it only a couple times used before, and most of the time you use the Symmetra teleport to just, you know, okay, yeah, we put the teleporter in the window, we TP off the side up to the window, we get the high ground, we get the drop, but you never see like them keep the Symmetra. Like if they lose the first fight, they're just like, you know what, that's fine. They put the Symmetra up and they use the different angles so that they can play around the Mei wall, and that is probably one of the most important ways to like utilize that teleporter.
Yeah, and they were able to set themselves up perfectly there for success. And again, that's as quick as it gets, 200%. They weren't even like really serious contests early on. So they were able to put together quite a bit in fashion there. So as we're looking again, just a reminder, the way the bracket is working itself out, we are watching the losers final here. So this is Company 8 versus Byzantine Empire. We saw a very handed first map go to Company 8. Whoever wins here will be moving back up to the winners final here, and then we'll be playing off the pack for the finale. There's going to be no flipping the bracket or anything. It's just going to, whoever makes it out of losers moves up to the grand finals per se, and they're going to play it out against off the pack. We're going to be going to Dorado next again, and so we'll have to see how these teams play around, and if they keep the Symmetra, I mean, there's still an opportunity for it, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Dorado, once again, a very comfortable map, as we've seen it every time so far. Just saying. Yeah, it's a comfortable map for both of these teams. They know how they want to play it. We just saw Byzantine play this really well. With ZZIB just being able to find picks on the Ashe and using Bob to kind of get more advantage and apply more pressure where they needed it. And I love that. I love that coming out from Byzantine. But I'm pretty sure Company 8 is going to know that as well, and they might actually have a strategy playing the same thing. So we'll see how they decide to roll out their rosters going into Dorado.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting for sure, and we've got a lot of opportunities for a lot of interesting fights here. Byzantine up on the ropes this time, so going from, you know, being in the driver's seat last time here, now sort of in a position where they have to bring it back, and we're going to see both teams opt for the Genji interplay this time, so maybe Dash going to try to find a rhythm as he's not, you know, just playing to a Mei in a bunker.
Yeah, and this is the way how to meet them up too. It's gonna be, you know, Genji versus Genji. There's gonna be a lot of just solid duels probably coming out from these two.
For sure. So we're going to see how this one shakes itself out as we enter map number 2 in losers finals here at Esports CCP. So we're going to see early on, they're going to give up this initial ground, obviously looking for a halted Cretan, but nothing really going to make itself come to light there. Double shield set up well, and they'll get the cart rolling.
Yeah, I just saw that rock from Dusk. I mean, dude's out here looking like Steph Curry hitting people with rocks from half court. Just happens to work out in their favor too. This Pumpy's gonna be able to find Dash.
Yeah, really well timed pick there. And even if they rotate onto the high ground, they're set up on the payload, and they're not going to be able to touch it here for a while. You know, and again, we're going to see Special getting a whole lot of damage here. That splash damage on the Hyperspears paying off, getting a couple kills here. Dash finds Hentai at least, but in this fight in the corridor, ultimately going in favor of Special and CJ, and they're gonna walk away with a nice defense.
Yeah, and they kept him corralled down there. Like that is not a place where you want to be when you have like 4 people running at you. Tight close quarters is not the way to go. So we will see how they play this out coming into the second half, and there are a couple ultimates about to roll out.
Yeah, they've got their options here available for sure, and so we're gonna see as Cart moves underneath the arch here, the way they're set. We're gonna see 7-man Pablo come out here from Pummy. Pummy with the dynamite finding 2. Vega and Dash taken out. That's a 6-on-3 now. They're pushing it forward. They get the ult charge as they follow them underneath, looking for a stagger. Hentai's gonna find it, and the defense holding out strong.
Yeah, he's just trying to push him up even further up, and that is the best way to play it. And Pummy was just waiting on if they happen to make it out in the back, that's like a free dynamite. But yeah, this is gonna be pretty tough. There's 2 minutes left on the clock though. They do have time to figure out what they want to do. The whole team's pretty much gonna have ultimates going into the next fight. So we'll see if that coordination really does pay off coming into here.
Big flex coming out, just sort of blasts Vega into the sky. Didn't really need it there. It doesn't find anybody else, but we see a whole lot of other ultimates at the disposal here of Byzantine as they try to put some kind of attack together, and they're just quietly moving the card before CCP gets decimated by the Hyperspheres.
Yeah, try to get a little bit of progress on there, but they command this high ground, and it's difficult right now for Byzantine Empire to really make a move. If they go down underneath them, they're gonna be spotted out immediately and have to play into a close quarter high ground situation. But you know, that patience that they're playing with is the best way to go about it.
Yeah, and that patience paying off here. Dust's gonna find a couple of kills. They're gonna invest a whole lot of ultimates though, so it was expected that they'd at least win this fight, and they'll get the cart rolling, but there's definitely time to recontest, especially as Pummy's got the 7th man locked and loaded.
Yeah, and they're gonna lock down I'm Special, just giving him a little bit of a stagger. They don't have enough time to really recontest this, and that's exactly what Byzantine Empire needed. They needed to play that slow to make them guess, you know, are they going under, are they gonna pull the cart, and then just speed from there. Commit a couple ultimates, get what you need done, and they still have the blade available for them.
Yeah, they've got a lot of ultimates at their disposal there as well. We're going to see they could sort of budget blade here with the Ninja and Dash ultimate combo here. Hentai's so far away from their ult, so they don't have an opportunity to look for that. But here comes Gravitic Flux looking to find anything, only able to take down Bob ultimately there. But here comes Vega and ZZIB. Nox is going to find a trade amplification matrix. Going to look down the whole street here. So Vega's just going to push up past it, but Pummy finds a kill through it. And Ninja might be in trouble next. Shield is gone, and they are down, and they take back over the cart.
Yeah, it took them a little bit of time to really push the tempo there, but I do understand, like, you know, we have a couple ultimates. We just have to we let them burn through theirs, so now is the time to go. If you have a little bit of time, maybe steal the high ground. You know that they don't have any ultimates available. Just push and make it your case.
Yeah, we'll see if they can look for anything here. We're gonna see Immortality Field gone immediately. Dash able to find lava at least and get a first pick to set up a nice 6-on-5 opportunity. Specialist's gonna fall very, very low, but they don't have anything to finish them off. But here comes Dusking and Ninja with a couple of kills, able to push the cart here with just under a minute and a half to go, and they're setting themselves up nicely here to take over the second point.
Yeah, and they're all splitting up, trying to get some high ground, and they just leave one person on the cart, and allowing that to be the play is going to be the way how they're going to split the focus here. It's hard to take out one at a time, so they're probably going to try to take some people off and then try to win the fight that way.
Pummy with a nice headshot on the Vega early on in the fight with that initial pick. Gonna try to help out. Here comes Bob trying to do something here. So they set themselves up basically with 7-man Bob as a 7-on-5. We see Hentai in the backdrop here. It does have the blade available. Not gonna use it, doesn't need to. but gonna get a really late stagger here on Greninja. So by the time Greninja comes back, they won't have a full 6, so about 15 seconds left at the point. And ZZIB down now too.
Yeah, this is gonna be a pretty tough push. They have to get on to point. They have to play into Blade, Bongo, and a Gravitic Flux. There's just a lot to deal with. But we'll see if they could get something rolling here. Dusk will have Gravitic as well. And if he's able to maybe get a couple people, they can definitely push off of it.
Gravitic Flux comes out. 2 gonna be taken down immediately from it here. Here comes Pummy and CJ finding 4 of 6 on their own. CJ finds the 5th team kill, not allowed by the clock. So they get most of the distance towards that second point, but a really formidable defense there.
Yeah, solid defense coming out, but a solid push as well. They got a little bit past halfway. If they can hold them to the first point, which we've definitely seen Byzantine Empire do before, not necessarily to this team, but to other teams, if they could keep that pressure up, they can definitely maybe steal this map off of them. So that would actually make it a really interesting series, you know, taking it to an actual map 3, something that we haven't seen at all.
Third map, never heard of her.
Yeah,
I don't think we have this entire tournament. I guess that's like sort of typical of like a lot of collegiate tournaments between skill gaps and some preparation, just like the mental involved in the best of 3. A lot of times it's pretty common not to see them go to 3, from at least from my experience. But yeah, I mean, there's a real opportunity here. That's a really difficult push, especially in Dorado. Like, there's so many chokes here that you could easily be like, yeah, that's probably one of the hardest in Overwatch.
Yeah, especially that first point one, and then third point just feels like a trek. It feels like, you know, not as much of a trek as Paris is, but like it's a pretty long walk.
Yeah, it can be a real pain, and with the way some of these comps are, it's a very slow walk back to these fights. So they're gonna have to keep their eyes on things. And again, it looks like we're gonna be looking at mirror comps with the double shields once again.
Yeah, double shields. You know, the Orisa is just playing a lot of important roles coming out here.
Yeah, we're going to have to be mindful of the Bongo as well here. Again, we've seen a lot of really good budget blades. We've also seen some great combinations with Gravitic Flux and Blade. So both teams, again, engineering most of their attacks and defenses around the Blade. But they're going to move this cart around the corner pretty easily here, it looks like, and no picks yet.
Yeah, and once again, here's that choke that's pretty difficult to push through. They have control of the stairs, so they can take that high ground away whenever they want, but at the same time, you have to keep an eye out on the payload. If it happens to, you know, inch its way through, it could just be, you know, a full distraction coming out.
That's what we're seeing here. They're at least able to inch it up enough to get them through the arch, at least when they come back to point. And we're already seeing Hentai gonna have Blade when this fight starts, excuse me. So that's really fast.
Yeah, he has that available, and that is going to probably be, you know, the game changer coming in here. I understand that they want to keep him in check, but we got to see if he could actually find a good opportunity to get back there.
Pummy finding a couple of good shots there, so Pummy gonna find 2 kills. Here comes Hentai with another. That Blade probably overkill, but they're gonna use it regardless. They're gonna get a team kill on the board basically with that. And really well played. They'll get this first point here very easily.
Yeah, he definitely wanted that pressure up, and that's exactly what he wanted to do. Oh, he's taking a couple of hits here. Playing it nice and safe, but, you know, committed the Blade a little late in that fight. It wasn't really necessary, but, you know, sometimes you just got to send a message, and that's the way to go about it.
I got to ask a couple top players for Kratos Esports when I did a tournament. I was like, would you rather use more or less in a fight to win? They're like, always hit Q. You can get more or less later. You can't get that point back necessarily, or that same fight. So maybe some of that mentality there as well. We're going to see Bob come out. Hentai and Pummy going to find a couple of good kills on top of the Bob as well. Still suppressing so much as they take the fight into the chapel here. Puts them in a difficult spot. CJ and Lava cleaning it up. With just under 4 minutes to go here, they have the oath economy and they've got the advantage.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to go into, and this is the tough part coming in right now. There is for ultimates. They have to touch. They have to get something going on there. We'll see if they have enough time to stall it out.
Yeah, you have to kind of do a rotation game, but if nobody's alive, it's hard to do that rotation. There's nobody on point right now for either team. Excuse me, we're going to see ZZIB at least on point, trying to hold court there, but Noctis is there, and here comes the Blade, and they're going to be able to push it through. No opportunity for the third map. Company 8, 2-0s.
But yeah, just honestly a solid play. Here's Pummy, nice shock skin. I approve. Coming from the Bay Area here, not biased, but you know, just really good use of dynamite, and you know the gravitic flux also helped just bring them back into sightline. Oh, that headshots, just being able to find certain players here and there, just playing it, you know, almost textbook. So Company 8 will be going off against off the pack. And people were saying, I think these two teams played or like, I don't know if these two teams played before, other than, you know, earlier today, or if there was another matchup that they had earlier on.
Yeah, if they had a matchup outside this tournament, please let us know in the chat. So they had that match just a little bit ago here, like we talked about. So we saw off the pack 2-0 Company 8, you know, to sort of start our day here. We saw off before that, so Company 8 had beaten Byzantine Empire. Off the pack had beaten support players Harem. Then off the pack went up against Company 8 and beat them. So all these teams sort of playing each other throughout the you know, the back end of this double elimination bracket and showing their merit so far. But with that, you know, as both semifinals are completed, we'll get ready for the grand finals coming up between both teams. We'll get them in the lobby and get ourselves ready as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Campbellsville University, preparing tomorrow's Christian servant leaders today.
Sharing the beauty of music, that's my calling.
The caring hands of healthcare, that's my calling.
Building infrastructure that powers business, that's my calling.
Surpassing expectations, that's my calling.
What's your calling?
Go for it.
Okay, so for 8,000 Rocket League credits, we got Gotcha Peter for the winner of it.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Esports Collegiate Career Pathways we are dedicated to helping gamers, players really improve their game, whether at the collegiate level like we are today or as a career.
Go to your buddy and be like, hey, I got paid to play video game and get good grades. What did you get money for?
We really want to give a foundation for gamers to come in, express themselves in their own way, give them a competitive base setting, and provide them with the equipment necessary to, you know, thrive in that competitive setting.
We looked at the resources that are available. And even yesterday, I was talking to parents and players, and they didn't even know there are varsity teams at the college level, let alone that there's scholarships. So we took upon ourselves that we really want to put together these combines, not just like Rocket League we're doing now, but we're doing League of Legends in 2 weeks. And beyond that, we're probably going to do Fortnite to really give resources and a recruitment tool for the colleges, but really to get these players in front of the right people at the right time.
We really want to give a foundation for gamers to come in, express themselves in their own way, give them a competitive base setting, and provide them with the equipment necessary to, thrive in that competitive setting. We are planning on having Fortnite, Rocket League, League of Legends, Overwatch, Apex Legends, Call of Duty, and possibly Rainbow Six Siege. Now, these are going to be played at a competitive level. We are also going to have, all sorts of other games to be played at a recreational or just, an at ease without a competitive side level. In our first year, we are actually building a brand new state-of-the-art esports lab dedicated just for our esports program. This will have, the best and brand new state-of-the-art equipment that can handle gaming and streaming with ease.
I thrive better in a smaller learning environment, and I like the fact that Bay State is a smaller student body population.
They really truly care about our success here at Bay State College as well as our future successes.
It definitely pushes you to your creative point and really teaches you how to refine your ideas and put them into something beautiful.
This journey started with me, but it's become so much more. Up here, your friends become your family. It's not always easy, but this place makes it all worth it. I know my degrees will take me where I want to go, and these connections will last a lifetime.
I wanted to experience something different, to still do the things I love, but also try new things. Up here, connections are strong. We're all in it together.
Michigan Tech is like its very own thing. I've learned to take risks. I've been challenged. The people I've met and the things we do, this is real.
I always get the help I need, and I give it right back by getting involved and being a part of something bigger. At Michigan Tech, the classes shape your mind, but the experience of being here, it shapes you into who you want to be.
Tomorrow needs Michigan Tech. Tomorrow needs you.
I'm searching to party up. These games you play ain't worth too much. I'm searching to party up, and this player packs a punch. So party up with me. Come here, baby. Party up with me. It's so easy. So party up, party up, party up, party up, party up, party up,
Welcome back, everybody, to Esports College and Career Pathways Overwatch Collegiate Community Combine. I'm Paul, joined by Kanashi, and as we're getting ready here for our grand finals, we've had a really exciting day of action.
Yeah, we got to see the two semifinals matches already. Switching it up between double, single eliminations. Personally getting us confused, but giving us more action, which is always pretty fun.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure being able to get some more action on stream for you. So we started off the day with Off the Pack actually beating Company 8. So we've seen it before, and we're getting a little deja vu as they won 2-0. Byzantine Empire went on to then beat Support Players Harem 2-0. Then we just saw Company 8 take care of Byzantine, and now we're back up into the finals here. And so let's return for a second to the interviews we had at the top of the day. And a lot of what we got to hear was the experiences of people had in collegiate esports. And Kanashi, it's someone that, like, for yourself, that's been involved with it so much. When you played in these sorts of events or did tournaments or were just around these sorts of people, like you said, you talked to them through the day, sort of, what were some of the highlights for you in seeing what they got to do, and like even some of the challenges they faced with some of these longer formats?
Yeah, when it comes down to longer formats, I feel like the hardest part for teams is like learning to emotionally reset yourself, and resetting after every game, like after every match. Because sometimes you'll go into a double elimination game, you'll lose one, you'll be like, oh man, we're out, like, man, whatever. But the thing that you got to take away from it is like you watch that match, and you learn from it. You'd be like, okay, you know what? It's double elimination. Like, all we have to do is just be perfect throughout the rest of the tournament. Like, you know what? Like, upper bracket is easy street. We gotta climb our way through. That's not the anime arc that we asked for. Like, we have to climb our way through, and that's the way how they did it. Like, that's like honestly the emotional half of like people getting invested in the game is really important because it drives passion. It makes you play, um, with your entire body and your entire heart. But at some moments, you do need a reset. You just need to be like, okay, you know what, we can chill. Let's take it one at a time.
Absolutely. And we'll take a second here and do a little bit of housekeeping too as well. So we want to thank ESTV and the NFL Alumni Association for their sponsorships with this event. So ESTV is a 24/7 esports channel available wherever you find channels like that. And the NFL Alumni Association has been involved with us in helping partner former players with future athletes here in esports. So thank you to both of them. If you don't know what Esports CCP is, our mission is to provide a safe and supportive environment for gamers to make that transition from high school and amateur to collegiate, whether that's going pro or simply being part of a program. And so if you don't know about us, you can find us on Twitter at Esports CCP. You can also continue to follow us here on Twitch. We will be back next weekend with some League of Legends action here, hopefully. And then thank you again to everyone, that's played and has been involved. Yesterday, we had Coach Ryan Hins from Concordia. We had Advanced Pirate from Marian University and Caitlin Roos from Michigan Tech and Logical University. Today, we had a great series of interviews as well. We had two players from Michigan Tech, Carnamora and Mr. Got Game. We had Coach CJ from Campbellsville, and we had Danny from Marian University. So thank you to everyone that's been involved at this point. And so, as we start to set ourselves up here for the grand finals here, Kanashi, I mean, so before the tournament started, we sat down, we looked at the rosters, and we went, okay, Byzantine, Company 8, off the pack. Like I think we had this final four pretty much nailed down. And at this point, it's obviously we saw off the pack win, but Company 8 definitely looks like they're finding a rhythm.
Yeah, I felt like they had to take a couple of wins here to find a groove, like to kind of roll themselves back into shape here. Like off the pack, like they won their game, and then all of a sudden they're just like, you know what, now they have to chill. They chill until the final match is played. Well, Company 8 has a little bit more experience. They may have lost the first one, but they just won two. Pretty handily too. So it's like a 2-0s going into there. So hopefully with a little bit of warm up, they're a little bit more warmed up compared to off the pack. But off the pack has had time to, if they're really like hardcore, studying the tapes, figuring out, okay, well, Company has this tendency of going this way. Like you have time to kind of like reset and figure out how you want to play it. So it is a case of deja vu. We are seeing the same two teams. Probably going to the same two maps because it is comfortable. So yeah, we'll see if the outcomes are different.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I think we're gonna end up going in the same maps, and like, believe it or not, there is a map pool. Like, it's not just set to go to Lijiang. It's Busan, Lijiang, or Oasis, Dorado, Junkertown, or Gibraltar, and then Blizzworld, Scrimsrow, or Numbani. And at this rate, do I anticipate us getting a map number 3? Probably not, just because we haven't seen it. But maybe in the finals we get a treat here. Just both teams just haven't gotten there.
Yeah, and hopefully we do get to see that. And if the hybrid map does go into a tie, we go to Nepal. So that is just the quickest way to like reset and make sure that everything is going according to plan. But yeah, these two teams definitely came in, showed that they have the prowess and they have the skill to really take control at certain moments. And yeah, we'll see how well they play against each other once again.
Yeah, and so I want to highlight just super quick. I want to highlight because a lot of times I think support players, whether in any role, like off the pack's Nexo has just been incredible. Like I know a lot of the credit ultimately goes to a lot of these DPS because they appear in the kill feed, but Nexo's just been playing so well. And then you look at a team like Company 8, just top to bottom stacked. I've seen Lava play in other tournaments on the main tank and just sort of be unreal. Like just so if you watch carefully, like Orisa is, for me, I'm biased. I think is a really boring hero to play, but the shield placement is so nuanced and sort of Lava has that mastered. So a lot of their plays are coming from roles that like aren't necessarily getting the limelight, even from us, just by nature of how quick the action goes. But they're really something to keep an eye on, and they're putting on the clinic.
Yeah, exactly. Like as a main tank player for my team, like honestly, I feel like if you're playing Reinhardt or Winston, it's like, going out for dinner and then like Orisa is like eating a hot pocket. Like you just kind of know what's going to happen in 2 minutes. It's like there's a halt, there's a shield, but like there's individual nuance to every character, right? Like everybody may think like, "Oh yeah, well, this is kind of boring or this isn't as fun," but like once you start getting into like the individual like details, it's like how well do I pull off halt? Like if I have, for example, like there's two different styles of halt that most people like think about. There's the halt up where you pull people up straight up, and then there's halt where you pull them off to the side. And the pulling off to the side one is to like get them off high ground or put them into a pit. But it was also something that like back in the Doomfist meta, it took me a while to figure out. You have to pull to the side so that they line up with a wall so that your Doomfist can slam them into said wall. Compared to like normally, like I was used to pulling people straight up so that like they get dropped into place again in the same spot, but they're like, no, pull them to a wall so like I could just erase them. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's different schools of thought. Like even though halt is a really important ability right now, there's a lot of different ways of like using it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as we're getting ready here too, if they go back to Lijiang, we've seen both teams take it so many different ways. And the return of Genji's been really interesting, and I'm not really sure entirely what's caused it. Like I know he's gotten some buffs, he had some shurikens added to his kit. So that's slowed how the reload works and things like that. But as far as the meta goes now, like teams being able to play through the Genji is something that's sort of just like really different to see. Like I think we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but when you see some streamers, like I'm not even sure they're not even sure how to play into them still, but it seems like they're just kind of going through.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like if you're an old boomer Overwatch player like us, you remember how Genji played. Like you have like old school thoughts of like, oh god, the Dragon Blade's coming. Like you just know like certain things are gonna happen. But like the people who may have came a little bit later, either like post goats or like post dive, like they've never seen a Genji in their entire life. Like it's just a matter of figuring out how to counter it. You know, the the biggest stop was like the pre-Brig era Genji. Like even now that we have Brig, like Genji should be in check all the time, but he's just got a lot more mobility. He gets his ult quicker. It's just crazy. Like just to know, these players are playing this character at such a high level that they're even countering their own like initial counter.
For sure. And we're having a little bit of change up with the map order. So we're actually going to be starting on King's Row here in just a second. So we're going to get some variety finally getting away from the control and S. We're going to be going over to the hybrid. And both teams obviously going to be super familiar with King's Row as it's, popularly renamed to Scrim's Row appropriately. Just because, like, if you're going to pick a map, you're going to King's Row. And like a lot of the others we've seen so far, you can play a lot of what you want, but we might see that Ryan Zarya come back out.
Yeah, and once again, like Kings Row and Dorado, I think kind of go hand in hand because there's like different ways of playing each like section of the map. Like the first one is like you have to play around the statue. You have multiple ways of like kind of getting in. You could either go through a hotel around the statue to the other side of the hotel. You could drop down. There's just a lot of options on point A. Point B, which is like the streets phase, a lot of longer sight lines, so teams can play either flank style, like they can take the long route if they want. It's definitely like not the way to go for the most part, but it is a way of approaching the point. And then the last one is just like kind of a long drag, but there is a lot of ways to like hold and play Genji, especially right now. Like you can get up to that high ground really quickly, and that just gives them mobility and angles that they could play.
For sure. We'll be getting into our map here in just a second. It looks like, as far as early predictions go, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to try to see some early looks on a Widow. Like, I know that's not necessarily something we've seen from both of these teams, at least today. But I think going to a King's Row with how confident these DPS can be, I wouldn't be surprised if that's something we're looking at.
I wouldn't mind also seeing, the initial like scan. We could see the scan arrow coming out like first, or like the Widow pick. Pick the Widow if you're on offense. Try to get an early pick, then switch back to the Ashe if it's more comfortable. Definitely seen a lot of teams like pull that off. I think it'd be really interesting to see, if X, Y, or Z really goes off.
Yeah, absolutely here. And so again, we've got Company 8 coming up here against Off the Pack. They did play earlier in the bracket here, and earlier today, actually, we saw Off the Pack 2-0 Company 8. And just, as we've today was the start of the best of 3 format, and we saw 3-0. So we're going to see if that trend continues or if we ultimately go to 3 maps. So we'll be getting ready for that in just a second here. And in terms of what the future for these, tournaments and things look like we talked about yesterday, the addition of Open Queue and its general success. I mean, we might see a return to the days of goats and things in legitimate tournaments. And I don't know how well or how much Blitz is going to embrace that, but I think the players have really started to with how many people are playing Open Queue.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where like I understand like Rollock is making it more balanced. You don't have to worry about not having a support player at any given time. Um, and that definitely was an issue going into Open Queue, but like when you have a coordinated team going in and you're confident, you can definitely see, like, oh, okay, go to works, or the Chengdu Hunters old school, Wrecking Ball Mercy strat worked. Like just things where you know, Surefour's play from like the roundabout or whatever they wanted to call it, where they ran the goats thing, they went all the way around them, and then you know Surefour switched over to the Widow from Brig, and they're just like, what just happened? Like, what happened here? It's literally an outplay and making them like back up into the sight line. Like we wouldn't have been able to have that if OpenQ didn't exist. So hopefully we get to see a little bit more creativity going into there.
Yeah, I'd love to see something like that. I mean, we've seen, and most of these players, obviously, we talked about their top 500 level. They're really heavily involved in the scene. They're watching Owl. Like, they're going to be working to imitate what they're seeing from the big leagues in their scrims and their practices and mentally. You know what I mean? And so I wouldn't be surprised to see some of these cheeky plays sort of reenacted, you know, if you will. And so I think we're going to start seeing that.
Especially in OpenQ, it gives you that bit of flexibility, but you could also see like, you know, different compositions come up here and there. But yeah, it sounds like we are loading straight onto Kings Row. Once again, it is a very comfortable map. I know that, you know, a lot of teams scrim on it. That's why it's Scrims Row. But it is just like it's a very comfortable map. If out of these choices, which by the way, they do have choices. It was Blizzard World, Numbani, or Kings Row. It just like, you know, this one's the most comfortable.
Yeah, we're gonna see a change up here in lineup. So Chopper's actually gonna be in here, and so I watched Chopper play. And he's a fan favorite in the T3 scene as well. So I really like that change up. Ultimately, really proficient Genji and DPS player here. I want to say him and Lava played together. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure I've seen them together. So we might be seeing a little bit more some interesting matchups again.
Yeah, I always love that subplot kind of deals coming into these kinds of matches, especially like grand finals and finals, because believe it or not, like players pick up on quirks and nuances, and this is like the time when it shines.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we're gonna see already Lava set up on that corner, gonna try to maintain as they have the split defense that you know pretty typically see anymore in Kings Row, with the Sigma occupying the high ground. And they're going to try their best to keep Keo off the point, and Lava just wrestle them down here. Hentai gets caught in the backline though, shield locked by Momentum. We see the duel up top here between Sigma and Genji. Ultimately, but Special gonna take himself out. I believe he caught himself with an accretion and a hypersphere in the tight space, so decimates himself, and they're going to be put in an awkward spot as Chopper finds Pummy. They find a couple picks and are given one, and they're going to be able to step on the point.
Yeah, and this should be a quick take for the team here. Just being able to lock it down, as Off the Pack is going to be able to take the first point moving on.
Yeah, and we're going to see here just the good plays continue. Spec's going to find the kill on the Special. They're going to get the cart rolling here in just a second. And Chopper and next will have Blade, or have CCP. Chopper going to get Noctis, continue to look for more. CJ taken down, so that's both supports. Keo finds the kill on the Lava. Pummy next, and they've got such a long trek back here. They're going to get a lot of free cart push if they play this right.
Yeah, and they're just going to let it ride, you know, get some pressure. They got two people on the point, so just moving slightly faster. But they are gonna try to push a little bit more pressure up this time. This Company 8 is gonna be looking to stop that push coming up.
Yeah, and so we're gonna see here, Special gonna hold it off, trying to find the accretion. Really well played there into the suck there, trying to find the armor. Pummy gonna find the kill on the Sinister at least, so maybe that'll put a bit of stop with the cart keys rolling, and they're gonna have a decent ult advantage here as they turn the corner, and here comes the Q buttons.
Yeah, and that's what they wanted to do. They're using 7th Man Bob to just kind of cut off one corner, but it looks like they're finding certain picks as they try to funnel their way through.
Yeah, Pummy finds a couple here before the bunga, but here comes the Gravitic Flex. They're going to try to look for something Spected would take down Pummy in mid-air. Genji is still alive, so Chopper's there, but Hentai does have Blade if they want to use it. Gravitic Flex is going to be the first one they opt for. No combo necessary. Sinister takes down Lava though, and for both sides, this is sort of a weird place to be fighting. as the spawns are basically even, so they're going to have to blade into it. But at this point, Chopper almost has theirs back here too. Hentai doesn't land anything from theirs, so they're going to have to keep the cart rolling. I'm Special makes a swap over to Diva. And so as they start to work their way back, Lava's on the ball. And now we're getting to a point where the teams are almost playing it like overtime, and that's going to go in favor of the attack.
Yeah, and there's just like, people are just popping everything. Chopper trying to actually find a couple. He finds 4 already, and that might be just enough for them to get this finally to point 2.
Yeah, really well played there, and a nice timed ultimate to get things rolling, and very well done there. So we're going to see Sigma swap back over, or Special swap back over to the Sigma, and they're going to try to look for something, but they've got an uphill battle for sure.
Yeah, it felt like that fight was like super prolonged, and I think that's something that the Off the Pack is really good at. It's just prolonging fights until they could come back and actually win it.
Yeah, so we're going to see what they can put together here. They 5-4 really quickly here and take down Bob. But they were abandoning cart here, even though, you know, they're pushing them into spawn, but they've got, at least should have one person on and try to get the distance, because they pretty much can get it to a final stop here. They've got it rolling. They've got the max 3 on it, and they get it to go the distance with no recontest.
Yep, 3 minutes and 33 seconds on the clock, and that's quite a bit. I just like the way how Off the Pack is keeping the pressure up. Like, even in a fight where they may lose 2 or 3, right? They keep people on the point and keep pushing forward.
They're able to do it with a really great time there. So Off the Pack off to a hot start again. Like we said earlier, they were able to 2-0 Company 8 in early on tonight, so they're going to try for that again, obviously, and they're getting it started with a time like that on Kings Row. That's going to be tough to beat and tough to compete with.
Yeah, it is going to be a tough push coming in here. So hopefully they could find like a separate rhythm. Like, I understand, like, you know, this is the team that, you know, knocked you down to the lower bracket and gave you a hard time, but you might be able to find something else, maybe switch things up, as we see exactly that coming out from Off the Pack.
Yeah, and so we'll see what they're able to put together here. So far, the move to Chopper really looking great, as they have this really great Genji play so far. Winning this duel with Hentai is ultimately going to pay off, and they're just going to look to keep things going. CJ looking... Okay, I was going to say, CJ playing Zen? What are they doing? But they go back.
Puts up Sinister. It's going to be on the Hanzo this time. Something a little bit different. Not quite the Ashe, but gives them the potential for a one-shot kill if you could land it.
Yeah, they're going to try to look for anything here early on. We see Sinister on that Hanzo. Like you said, they're going to try to build up ultimates very quickly here with the Shamada brothers both in the front lines here. Sinister getting that built up quickly, and they haven't found a way to push forward just yet.
Exactly, but it is slow play. That is exactly what they wanted to do going into here. And yeah, just play it nice and slow, find certain picks, and they are doing a really good job of like flanking around and making them look at different angles though.
Absolutely here, and now they're going to attack them from 2 sides, going to pinch them in the middle here, so Immortality comes out. They're going to have to either target focus one direction and loop back around, or split both ways, and they're going to opt for the first option. Specs and Chopper going to find 4 along with Sinister. They clean things up really quickly there. Very well played, and they get a team kill.
Yeah, that was honestly the right play coming out from Company 8. They split push, they went up and around. I feel like the downfall of that was that they had to take the fight like in the middle where everybody was at. So if one team pulled back, forced them either to fight on point or fight like the people who are straggling away from the point, then they have to make a decision whether to defend or to go for the kill.
Spec's going to find the kill on the Hentai. They're right out of the gate, and so they're going to have to look for a soft reset, because they know Hentai is really what they need to set up any kind of angle creation for Pummy. But that soft reset going to cost them valuable time as we approach 2 minutes here.
Yeah, 2 minutes on the clock. That's enough to maybe get your ults back twice, but they're going to start it off here.
they're going to get things going very quickly. They have a lot of ults at their disposal. Pummy's going to send out the Bob. Chopper's going to take them out at least. But they're going to have to start spending ults of their own. Here comes the Dragon, sort of too close and a little bit way. We're not going to land anything off of that. They haven't landed much off their ultimates. Chopper used an ult at least. Gravitic Flux coming out. And here comes the blade. So they're going to look for something off of it. Not quite able to land much yet, but they find CJ. Nexo finds 2. Chopper going to knock this off with a dash. And we go under 90 seconds.
I swear, like, Chopper is like covered in oil or something. He is slipping away from everybody. He's like Hakan in Street Fighter, because nobody's able to get close to this guy. And then by the time that he gets to you, you get a blade to the face. So he's just slipping out of these fights really quickly, and it's just really difficult for them to like really nail them down.
Absolutely. Here, Bongo is up, so CJ's going to take down Sinister here. Noctis finds a kill as well. And though Bongo came out, they sort of get decimated. Hentai was able to get through into the backline. Special picks up a kill on the next, so that's a team kill. And when it looked like all things were starting to go backwards for them, they pull it together and they're able to cap, but at least short spawns will give them an early recontest.
Yep, that's the way to go. They're trying to play it a little bit cheeky, but they are gonna keep the pressure up. You know, they don't want to lose this archway like Street Space. This is kind of the same one as like Dorado, except you do have a way of like really getting up and around. It just takes a lot longer. So this is another really good choke spot, and Sinister almost has his ult coming into here.
And then so we'll see what they're able to pull off of that. And so next was going to put out the amplification matrix, but like they push past it and aren't able to use it for any sort of advantage. But it basically ends up being null and void. Pummey and Hentai are going to find more kills as well. So next was just going to have to reset their Dragons come out from behind and take down Pummey at least, and they trade with Sinister, but so not much from that. Probably just going to swap or something, looking for some kind of cheeky play, and they'll have one more recontest. No, they're going to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an interesting pickup. Like Sinister's ideology on this Hanzo is yes, one shot headshot kills, but also enough zoning that you can get out of there. I don't know if you would swap this out for like a Mei maybe, but yeah, the fight's about to start up here.
Yeah, we're going to see the rally coming out here from Momentum. Maybe that would be enough to get that momentum started here. And so Kyo finds the kill on the Hentai. Both Immortality Fields are out. They're finally going to have to clean that out. But here comes Chopper. Sinister finds the kill on the Lava. Chopper going to find 2. Specs cleaning up Special. And with the cart in its current position, they're going to have to take the long walk back here for Company 8.
Yeah, they have eyes on him where he was playing. So yeah, Hentai just trying to get out of there. But they did commit quite a bit in order to make that fight happen. They only have a minute left, so you have to take one dry fight and potentially get some ultimates going, and then try to win it off of the next, unless you want to go for it right now.
We're going to see Bob coming out here. Amplification Matrix is going to help them take out Pummy's Bob fairly quickly here. And so with 60 seconds left on the clock, they're going to try to put together something here. We're going to see Immortality Field come out, but it's going to get eliminated quickly. Chopper gets in the backline, finds 2 in under 45 seconds here. They're going to have to end this fight quickly, which off the pack takes care of that for them. That's a team kill, and they'll push this to a final fight.
Man, Chopper with the dash resets, just giving him more mobility and more time to really just get over to where he needs to get. 30 seconds, and it's only one ultimate available, which is the Amplification Matrix. Yeah, Company 8 has got to find something in order to even touch the point.
Yeah, they find the kill at least on the Sinister, so maybe they have an opportunity here. Chopper already close to the next blade, so you know they're basically playing for that. Momentum gonna use the rally here. We see Sinister swap to Widow, so maybe that'll come into being a factor here shortly. And ultimately Chopper's so close to that blade, but can they keep him alive for it in time? He hasn't quite used it yet. Maybe looking to heal up first. They get rid of Immortality Field and he's going to try to pull off something, but no one else is alive with him, so he just sort of has to back off. And once again, when they're really down in the count there, Company 8 pulling it off and keeping things rolling.
Yeah, exactly. At first I wasn't really confident in the way how they wanted to play that, but they did end up picking off what they needed to. So really good job, Company 8. They got the ults when they needed to, and they used them accordingly.
See how they're able to do this now. And so they're looking at a 60-second clock. So you're basically playing for a final fight in overtime. Gravitic Flux coming out. They still have 3 on the cart despite all this. So special use Gravitic Flux to get onto the high ground here. They're going to try to match it, but Bob sort of suppresses them back. And now they're caught in a difficult spot here on the defense of how to contest when they really only have Chopper's Blade.
Yeah, and this is the crunch time. Like, this, you need to cap if you are on the, oh my god, that was
C9's it.
Yeah, that was a C9 right there. I was saying, you know what, if you're off the pack, you just want to stall out for time. Like, you don't want any potential overtime coming out from Company 8. But yeah, maybe they probably miscalculated just a little bit. And now, you know, Company 8 is going to be able to play with a minute on their clock. But off the pack is going to have 4. So that's it's like a 1 ultimate game versus like a potential 3 or 4 ult game.
Yeah, and that's just a case too of teams getting a little, I don't want to call it cocky, but just not playing it as safe as they can, right? Like Chopper has all the time in the world to dash on the point, or just if they didn't, you know, they mismanage a cooldown here or there, but you can blade and just get that back, and like sort of do it a little scuffed, but still make it happen. And I mean, you hate to see it, but regardless, they still have a really good opportunity to hold and win here. I mean, with 3:52 versus a minute, they're gonna have to look for some early picks, and Pummy and the Widow might give them that opportunity.
Yeah, they are kind of switching things up here. I do like Pummy on here, and also Chopper and Sinister switch roles. So we'll see if this plays differently.
We'll see how it plays out indeed here. So we're gonna see if Pummy can. So Pummy did swap back, but we're gonna see if they're able to make a play. And again, time is practically the biggest factor here.
Time is gonna be the factor. Once again, you probably only get 2 fights out of this. You want 1 fight to potentially get like a pick or 2, and apply pressure coming out. And the second fight, you just want to blow your ultimates and just get some tick onto the point. So, yeah, half the clock already there, but looks like they've already swapped sides.
Yeah, Sinister able to sort of get a good pick there on the back line. Plummy takes down Chopper though, so it's a DPS first support. And ultimately who that benefits is sort of to be seen. Lava in a tough spot here. And with the way the clock is right now, we already see the blade coming out here from Sinister. Finds Noctis, takes down Pummy as well. And with 4 minutes to go, they can save up and they only need to find 1 tick.
Yeah, 1 tick to keep it going. But if once again, if it's no tick, they are going to oh wait, they have 44.5. Okay. Solid.
They did
solid
narrowly
hold.
sneak that out. Okay.
They did sneak some in. So this is gonna be rather interesting. We no draw, hopefully. I mean, it's possible, but we'll hopefully not have to see that going into here. But like 4 minutes to cap a little less than half the point. It is gonna be pretty difficult to lock down Chopper and Sinister. So if you're Company 8, I feel like you just have to take these fights one at a time. Find out where Chopper is, make sure that he's, you know, a non-factor, and shut him down as quickly as you can.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to watch out for that. I mean, we've seen crazy things before in Overwatch. I'm sure not only in like this tournament, but in any tournament, right? Like you find upsets, and both teams are really talented. But a 4-minute hold on King's Row for 44.6%, gonna be incredibly difficult here.
No way.
He may be memeing us a little bit, but you could run it. I mean, a double shield top, you could cheese this.
They would not expect this one bit.
I didn't.
Yeah, and he's going for it. Just full damage. Just saying, you know what? You had shields. Not anymore. They don't exist anymore. So they are committing to this Bastion.
Yeah, I like the commitment, honestly. I think they can, if they can get rid of Hentai here and keep the immortality field up just long enough to maybe make a push and break shields, like you can make something off of this. I think it's a little bit cocky, obviously. Like it's not something you're gonna traditionally see, but with Nexo on West Coast Amplification Matrix, how do you stop that? But Sinister finding the headshot regardless here, and with the Bastion out, like how do you step on the point against that? You really can't. And if you're able, just keep momentum on there, they might be able to push this thing forward just enough. Chopper gonna look for something onto the high ground, nothing quite there, and they're just gonna play for ults, I think, at this point.
Yeah, they're trying to get something up and running here, and Kyo's gonna switch over to the ball to get Sinister, or to get Special off the high ground as quickly as he can, but you see exactly where he's playing, and he knows how to play that angle.
And we're gonna see what they're able to put together. So, it was surprisingly only a minute and a half or so has gone by, so they still have plenty of time. We're looking at some ults here shortly. We see Amplification Matrix come out here from CJ on Company 8, and so the ult train is going to begin here shortly, and Off the Pack just have to find another pick again and maybe try to put something together.
Yeah, and this is the way to go, honestly. Like they want to grind ultimates and get them available, and all they have to do is play reactively.
That's a huge gravitic flux. They put down Immortality Field to try to keep themselves alive, but that's taken away in short order. Hentai finds some killers, but with that, they used a few of their ults. They still have 3 online, but you're going to see plenty coming back from Off the Pack here in just a second as we come under 2 minutes.
Yeah, if you're Off the Pack, you're sweating a little bit at this point. Like, there's a minute 30, yes, but essentially you either have to make your play now and then reset and switch, figure out how you're gonna grind ults for the last fight, or just play these 1v1s.
And they're gonna have to try to find something out here for sure. So Pummy's gonna find the kill on the Kyo. Specs takes down Hentai though, so a nice trade. Here comes the Bastion ultimate. Pummy taken down for it here. They're gonna continue to move on the point here. Chopper takes down CJ. Lava's gonna have to work their way on the point, at least try to stall. Brigide's gonna fall fairly low, but they're able to boop them away. Sinister finds the headshot on the Lava, so maybe they can put it together, and they do. And map number 1 goes to Off the Pack.
Yeah, Off the Pack, like, at first, had me sweating a little bit, but going into the second half of that 4-minute push, they were just able to do it. But play the game going to Chopper. Crazy blades just coming out here, finding a couple meaning for, and then D-Mech and the finish off there as well. So just really solid gameplay coming out from Off the Pack, showing the reason why they're in the winners bracket, and it's just comfortable to see them once again against Company 8. But Company 8, if you're watching this game back, you're feeling very comfortable.
Yeah, I think you have to be, and both teams setting themselves up here for some success. Off the Pack obviously won earlier in the day, so getting that first map has to feel pretty good. And if you're Company 8, having to win the next 2 and you haven't taken one yet today from them, definitely going to be difficult.
Yeah, if Company 8 happens to grab one, I feel like the momentum shift would be huge in their favor. We don't know what the next map is going to be going into this, round 2 here. But currently, Off the Pack leads 1-0. They won the other series, the first series between these two, 2-0. So we'll see how, if anything is going to change up between the way how teams are going to be playing, or the lineup. We saw a couple of shakeups. We obviously the Bastion pick, but we also saw like the Hanzo pick coming out from Off the Pack, just showing like we don't have to always play the meta pick.
And that's sort of the value too you can get right now, right? Like you said, you don't have to play the meta. The meta is itself pretty fluid at this point, and so they can look for some different things there as well. And so as we wait on this next map pick, it looks like we're going to be going to Lijiang Tower here. Real surprise there, I guess. Like, I guess we're just gonna keep seeing. I mean, these teams have been playing it so often, but Company 8 had the pick, and they think they must have found something to come back.
Yeah, I mean, they felt comfortable on Lijiang Tower, and just showing how close they were on King's Row, I feel like, they can roll that momentum. They were showing, how well they could play the Death Ball against Byzantine, and they did really well in terms of, that fight. So hopefully they could bring that against Off the Pack, and Off the Pack will get, caught off guard. But we definitely can't just like predict that. This is one of the very few competitive sports that's out there right now. So let's keep it up in the air.
Yeah, getting some actual live action, sort of a luxury right now. Weirdly enough, I mean, the amount of like old Overwatch and new Overwatch and old games I've been watching, but we get the real thing, the genuine article right in front of us right now, at least as we get ready for Lijiang Tower. Once again, this is a best of 3 format, so Off the Pack only has to win this one to win the finals here, and Company 8 has to win this one and the next one to bring things back. And so, when we think about both of these teams too, we see the addition of Chopper, who was not available or in the last best of 3 that the teams did. And I think Chopper really even makes their team even better than before. So they've definitely got an uphill battle, especially now we're looking at Chopper on the Jake Silly here.
Yeah, we'll see if he decides to keep this. Like, this would be a really interesting composition. They're showing.
I'd really like to see it.
I would love to as well, but we won't know until the gates open, and it looks like it is going to be a full commitment here. We have the Junkrat and an Echo, like, versus very standard May Symmetra comp.
Yeah, so obviously they'll get first fight at point with the Symmetra. They already have all 3 turrets. You can see them placed there. Get ready to go for them here. So Momentum has to use the early res on the Keel, but they're going to have a lot of different angle creation here if they can just find their way through point. Chopper just broke Lava's shield there, so we're going to see Sinister start to roll in. Shields up. They're going to potentially have to think about swapping at least off the Hammond here, as Mage is going to give so many problems to that, but the dive's going to have a lot of potential if they can find their way through.
Yeah, they're trying to look for boop angles. Maybe try to catch them like peeking off on somebody and then just rolling everybody off the point. But I know that's very difficult. It's a tough thing to kind of like calculate because it is really just guesswork. But if it pays off, it makes one hell of a highlight reel.
Yeah, honestly. So Kyo's gonna find DJ though here. So maybe they have something brewing, and here comes Riptire. So they're gonna try to look for a pick. Able to land it on this special, so that's 2 kills, and they're going to move on the point, and here comes the dive. The beauty of the dive, once they go onto you, you are in trouble. Maybe overkill there with the Echo ultimate, but again, you want to secure it, especially this early. They take it over as they res Chopper.
Yeah, they're going to take that away from Company 8, but it shows that Company 8 is playing with a little bit of momentum coming into this. They wanted, a map that they were comfortable with. We haven't seen anybody on King's Row the entire day. So they just played this map earlier, so they're feeling a little more comfortable going into this.
We're gonna see a Nano, which we haven't seen in a hot second, or a Valkyrie, both gonna come out on point. We're gonna see an Angry Monkey Nano ult here with mines here, excuse me. So Kyo's gonna use the sticky bombs on the Pummey, find the kill. Angry Monkey takes down CJ, and they're gonna continue to wipe the floor here with Company 8, just getting several kills. The triple. They're going to have to do something about Noctis. Anti-Grenade takes them out. And once again, they're going to have the lead and try to keep things rolling.
Yeah, once again, very unorthodox composition, especially coming out in this current meta. And Pummy's like, you know what? We're playing weird. Let's play weird. He pulls out the McCree here. He just wants, that stun, the potential to lock down Sinister, and also something to contest Echo in the air.
Yeah, we'll see how they're able to work with that. Pummey takes down next. So here comes Hentai special though. Chopper finds a double O and the bongo. That's absolutely massive there with the Riptire. That's just what the doctor ordered. I mean, they're retaking point here ultimately, but with the quick res on the specs and the kill on the special here, they might have an opportunity to quickly recontest this. Here comes the cavalry, and Lava is going to be put in a different spot.
Oh no, Sinister!
Oh no!
Oh. He was looking for it. He may have gotten one. I know that I know Specs earlier ended up getting 2 environmental kills, and that's one right there.
Yeah, right on cue at least for you there. There's another one coming out here. Next, we're going to take down Special there with a melee. Here comes the sticky bombs, and here comes the retake. So the back and forth continues. And as we look at this next fight here, Kanashi, nothing on the board yet for Company 8 Ultimate-wise. They're going to have a hard time walking back here.
Yeah, this is going to be kind of an interesting fight. The Pummy is like getting quite a bit going for him. But I feel like he's got too many things to worry about all at the same time. 90% on the point, and they really do have to make a play here.
And they've got to pull off something. Trapped by the Hentai there. McCree ult really not great here, or in general right now in this meta, even with an Electric Cowboy. Keo picks up a couple kills on the Monkey. That's why you see that kill feed like on the way it is. And so with just like that, we're going to see Off the Pack push this to match point and tournament point here in the finals.
Yeah, they are pushing up tempo. Like, this is one of the things where when you're watching it, you're like, okay, this makes absolutely no sense. Like, why are we running this? But at the same time, it's because teams don't know how to play against it that it does so well. It's like picking a low tier character in any fighting game. Like, you don't know how they're gonna play it. Because first of all, you're not used to playing against something like this. And they're just kind of playing at their own tempo, which is really, really fun to see coming out from, a team like Off the Pack.
Yeah, there's definitely a novelty to it. I mean, I remember like when Echo came out, obviously there's novelties for new characters, but even like for like the new Symmetra remake and things, like early on it was like, what the heck do we do against this? Now all of a sudden you can really work with it. But here comes Keo looking for something here, censoring with the first one taken down. Now again, we saw this sort of thing last time, right, where they're able to get hold up on point first with the Symmetra Mace. So you pretty much expect Company 8 to get the first kill, but once Off the Pack are able to generate some different kill angles, and you're going to see that with this double aerial DPS, things start to change.
Yeah, and they're just kind of making it difficult for them to really run in the way that they want to. Sinister is just creating havoc. Look at him spin through here and just saying, like, you know what, we're going to have you play at a weird angle. But it does look like Company 8 is going to be able to take control of the point first.
Yeah, they're going to get control, but next up with a beautiful anti-grenade, they're sort of getting lost with the Nano there on the spec, so they're going to be able to look for some kind of pickup here. They're going to take down Lava fairly low. Barrage already coming out and finding 2. Specs taking care of another, and just like that, no, not quite. Caster Curse caught it a little bit too early there. I was going to say, just like that, they take my point, but now it looks like they're going to be able to, in the dive, paying off.
Yeah, the joy of playing dive is that you have enough mobility to get around to places when you really shouldn't have been able to get there. So Pummy is switching back over to the McCree, trying to deal with a lot of this high ground, either Chopper or Keo at the moment.
Yeah, we're going to see Keo really close to ultimate here. It sort of has a lot of options for what ult they want to go for. I mean, I'd like to see them clone or duplicate Lava here. But that's just sort of a personal preference. I mean, you do have a lot of options to work with. And we're going to see Sinister sort of caught in a bad spot here. But here comes the beat drop. Keo did choose the Reinhardt, but not able to get a lot of value off of it. Nox is going to find the melee. They're expending a ton of ults to try to get point back, but the fight continues here. Momentum brings back Keo, and they might be able to stall at least to 50%.
Yeah, forcing him to commit the shatter, and oh my god, what a nice concussive in order to prevent any of the follow-up.
That was really well played there, especially going to find the bomb on the Chopper. Here comes another Nano, though, from Nexo. Look at that anti-grenade taking down Lava super well there. They're going to push them right off a point, and they're just going to look for these kills and farm them, basically. And now they're going to move back on for a retake. Really well played. Cowboy finds nada, and that point is going to be theirs again here in just a second.
Yeah, and they're still trying to stall this out, making sure, you know what, as long as we can keep one warm body on the point, we'll be okay. So they're playing it out and just trying to get as much percentage as they can.
Yeah, Lava coming in on the hammer. Yeah, they're playing again. They're playing this like overtime, but it's paying off. I mean, they haven't been able to keep them totally off of point here, but they really are just feeding ult charges. I mean, we see Off the Pack's ultimates count lighting up like the 4th of July, and Company 8's really lacking here, so they're going to have to look for, both teams going to have to strategically play this.
Yeah, and honestly, like any tick of percentage really does count, and they're playing it kind of the same way how, like, you know, the Guangzhou Charge played it, where they'll play it like it's overtime. They'll just keep bodies on it. You know, any tick of percentage helps, especially coming down into this last bit. But now if you're off the pack, you're sitting on 6 ultimates. It's just a quick way of really like shutting the door on them.
Yeah, we're going to see how they have to work their way on the point here. With the Specs ultimate, if they only use that, they're still going to have a ton of ults left over here. They're going to mine as they kind of pin them in this corner. Special finds the kill on this Spec, so now it's a 5-on-5 here. May ult comes out here. Not going to land much. Pummy going to find Sinister at least as they push it to 99%, but this one is far from over. Nexo finds the anti on the special. They're going to be in trouble here. Nox is going to take down Nexo, but the cleave damage is still here from Specs. They're going to keep looking to move on point. Here comes Doomfist though. Might give them a little bit of trouble as they don't have any CC available. Rocket Punch going to take him down. Keo and Farah though, if they can stay up in the air, they can keep Doomfist at bay. And now they have to just watch the overtime clock tick down. They can't touch point again, and Off the Pack is walking away the winners.
Yeah, Off the Pack once again, very unconventional like team, but it works out just because, you know, teams don't know how to play against this. As we see Specs play the game, you know, as I was saying, you know, environmental kills were just going left and right for this guy, just forcing him to look 2 different directions. That's what they were trying to get going with the Hammond, but you know, sometimes you could just get it done with the what am I saying? With the Winston instead.
So yeah, it's been a long day for us too, and it's been a long day for the players. So we want to say, you know, congratulations to Off the Pack and GG's to Company 8 for giving us a great finals. You know, even though we didn't, none of the matches today went to 3-man, but a really good showcase here. And ultimately, I mean, these 2 points were really fairly evenly contested, but ultimately it went by way of Off the Pack.
Yeah, Off the Pack was just able to really like clean it up, and honestly, like Company 8 did show, you know, moments of brightness and just being able to really play to them, but Off the Pack was just able to clean it up and clear up everything else that they needed to.
Absolutely. And so again, we just want to thank everyone behind the scenes for all of the work that they did. So thank you to ESTV and NFL Alumni Association for their sponsorships of this event. We thank everyone at Esports CCP for hosting the Overwatch Collegiate Community Combine. You can check us out next week. We'll be back on this Twitch again, I believe, for a League of Legends coming as well. We've done a Rocket League one in the past, so this is sort of just the beginning. And though, you know, the collegiate scene's obviously in flux like most things during everything that's going on in the world right now, we hope that we'll be able to return to some normalcy soon with all of these competitions. So Kanashi, I mean, we can see your Twitter below your name, but where else can we find you, and what else are you doing?
So other than being on, you know, Twitter, I'm also on Twitch at KanashiGG if you guys want to find me there. I stream kind of whatever happens to fall in my lap at the moment. It's been Valorant, Overwatch, and a lot of Pokemon recently. So that's what I got going for me. If you guys want to hear me talk about Overwatch in particular, though, I do have a podcast on the Believe Network. It's the Believe in Overwatch podcast. So if you want to hear me talk about, you know, what's going on in the league, you can catch me there. How about you, Paul?
Yeah, that's awesome to hear that. So you can find me again. You can find below right there at Paulie C. I'm so thinking of starting a podcast soon, but you can also find me on Medium at Paulie C. I have some articles going on there. Most of those are all posted on my Twitter as well. And you know, my DMs are always open and, you know, interested in finding out stories and just learning more about the scene. Thank you to Leche in the background here. You can find him on Twitter as well. If you type in Leche, you're gonna find him right away. He's along with us too. And you know, thank you to everyone behind the scenes for everything they've done throughout the weekend for this event. And you know, thank you to our viewers and teams for participating. So for myself, for Kanashi, for the rest of the crew, thanks again and have a great night.
Campbellsville University, preparing tomorrow's Christian servant leaders today.
Sharing the beauty of music, that's my calling.
The caring hands of healthcare, that's my calling.
Building infrastructure that powers business, that's my calling.
Surpassing expectations, that's my calling.
What's your calling?
Go for it.
Okay, so for 1,000 Rocket League credits, we got Gotcha Peter for the winner of it.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Esports College and Career Pathways we are dedicated to helping gamers, players really improve their game, whether at the collegiate level like we are today or as a career.
Go to your buddy and be like, hey, I got paid to play video game and get good grades. What did you get money for?
We really want to give a foundation for gamers to come in, express themselves in their own way, give them a competitive base setting, and provide them with the equipment necessary to, thrive in that competitive setting.
We looked at the resources that are available, and even yesterday I was talking to parents and players, and they didn't even know there were varsity teams at the college level, let alone that there's scholarships. So we took upon ourselves that we really want to put together these combines, not just like Rocket League we're doing now, but we're doing League of Legends in 2 weeks. And beyond that, we're probably going to do Fortnite to really give resources and a recruitment tool for the colleges, but really to get these players in front of the right people at the right time.
We really want to give a foundation for gamers to come in, express themselves in their own way, give them a competitive base setting, and provide them with the equipment necessary to, thrive in that competitive setting. We are planning on having Fortnite, Rocket League, League of Legends, Overwatch, Apex Legends, Call of Duty, and possibly Rainbow Six Siege. Now, these are going to be played at a competitive level. We are also going to have, all sorts of other games to be played at a recreational or just, an at ease without a competitive side level. In our first year, we are actually building a brand new state-of-the-art esports lab dedicated just for our esports program. This will have, the best and brand new state-of-the-art equipment that can handle gaming and streaming with ease.
I thrive better in a smaller learning environment, and I like the fact that Bay State is a smaller student body population.
They really truly care about our success here at BC College as well as our future successes.
It definitely pushes you to your creative point and really teaches you how to refine your ideas and put them into something beautiful.
This journey started with me, but it's become so much more. Up here, your friends become your family. It's not always easy, but this place makes it all worth it. I know my degrees will take me where I want to go, and these connections will last a lifetime.
I wanted to experience something different, to still do the things I love, but also try new things. Up here, connections are strong. We're all in it together.
Michigan Tech is like its very own thing. I've learned to take risks. I've been challenged. The people I've met and the things we do, this is real.
I always get the help I need, and I give it right back by getting involved and being a part of something bigger. At Michigan Tech, the classes shape your mind, but the experience of being here, it shapes you into who you want to be.
Tomorrow needs Michigan Tech. Tomorrow needs you.
I'm searching to party